here we are. Final round of 16 matchup here in Warlords 3. And there's been some great round of 16 matchups. And I think this one as well will be fantastic. We've got Barles in the red. Barles has been looking really good recently. He's been consistently in the top 16, more so than ever. And then you've got the legend, the Lord DauT here in the blue.
Well, I mean, DauT looked really good in his qualifiers. He won 4-0 against Hart.
Yeah.
Which is not easy nowadays. But I think as good as Barles looks, stylistically, DauT is a bad matchup for him. Because they're both kind of the same stylistic player. Like Barles a little bit maybe more up to date with the meta or follows the meta a little bit more than DauT. DauT kind of creates his own metas, but they're both slow burners. And DauT's got years of experience and tons of big tournaments to basically source from to come up with his decision making. And I think it's going to be really, really tough for Barles to take this one.
Yeah, I looked at the matchups for these two, and they played 6 sets in tournaments against each other. The first one was actually in 2015, where DauT won 3-1, but DauT won every single one of those sets, most of them like 3-1s and best of 5s. But I think this is the biggest stage that they will have ever faced, which obviously changes things a little bit. But I agree with you. I think they have similar styles, but I've always felt like Barles is faster. I've always felt like Barles is really good on closed maps, which I would maybe give him an edge for over DauT. It's just the DauT factor, right? There's been so many times where you think, oh, maybe DauT's a bit older, a bit slower, maybe he can't micro like that. But then DauT figures it out. So until I'm proven wrong in this matchup, I've got to lean towards DauT too, and I'm thinking maybe something like a 4-2 would be a realistic prediction today because DauT just brings such a consistent level.
Really interesting how DauT has gone out to gold early here.
True. Yeah.
Is this like... I mean, he's got a lot on food here, and he's getting looms, so he might want to go up. I'm just... Dude, I made a video about it earlier today. The amount of fast castles, like just straight fast castles we've seen in this tournament already is kind of an anomaly so far, and DauT is actually going up to Feudal Age. So that's not going to be the case here. He did open first with that mining camp, which is interesting. No mill from him whatsoever. And you're looking at Malians versus Franks. Franks should be the favorite civilization here on Land Madness. They should be a little bit higher on the tier list.
Did you have I'll watch the video later. Did you have like a theory on as to why there was more fast castles or just...
I think it's a combination of like the 9 vills start and the fact that people feel like they need to push deer forever. So a lot of dealing with a fast castle is recognizing it early. And then, you know, maybe going a little bit faster forward with your scout, or maybe making those 2 militia to harass, or making Feudal Age army a little bit quicker. And that might be why we're seeing it more often. Maybe also just the maps, potentially. But we saw it on Haboob.
I think, dude, it's Phosphoru, man. Phosphoru is like terrorizing the ladder, and enough people have seen it. I got to give a lot of credit to him, combined with, I think, the other factors. I agree. I think the best way to punish someone who's just never going to scout you is to go for something unexpected. When Leary lost to Andy, he didn't know what the strat was because he wasn't scouting. And then he had already opened with something that didn't work out too well. But yeah, we're in Feudal here. And it's going to be Archer opening for DauT, is why he was on gold. I like the Archer Spear idea here from DauT. It forces the Franks into skirms earlier than... Well, first off, Franks never want to make anything out of their Archer range, but then it forces them into a unit they don't have a lot of upgrades on.
You're always going to have to make stable range if the game plays out the way it should on Land Madness. Doesn't matter what civ you are, usually you're going stable range. It's just all about the order of operations, right?
Yep.
So usually I like to see the stable first and then the range, because by the time the archers and the spearmen get to your economy, your opponent, or get to your opponent's economy, they're already adding a range anyway. That's just the way it plays out on 9-vil start. But we'll see. We'll see if DauT can force the scouts to hang around in Barles' base, and then by the time Barles has cleared up that initial army, DauT already has a stable of his own at home.
DauT is going to be licking his lips with those forward berries there for Barles. That is just such a good target. Now, you don't need to take those berries if you can get the farms and have the rest of your deer and sheep, but it is something to disrupt the Franks. And that, like you said, though, we'll see if Barles adds the range. The 2 spearmen and the archer here almost force someone in Barles' position to think about it, though. So that's what DauT wanted, and he's going to start there, push him off of berries, and move to the woodline now.
And there's the range. Only 1 archer here, no fletching for DauT as the game is paused. And Barles critically moves forward with those scouts. So he's looking for the reinforcements from DauT. He's got 4 of them. And DauT's got some spearmen at home and already has the pre-walls. So not so much for Barles to hit. But eventually DauT will add the stable. And he's going to be behind on scout numbers unless he clears up a bunch with these 2 spearmen.
Yeah, this is interesting from Barles. You delete the walls there. Obviously, you could fight that back, but it does kind of let DauT know that you're going to send the vills. DauT trying to be annoying. The 1 villager in there is pretty weak, but nice job from Barles to be patient. DauT realizing he's probably going to be cleared up soon is going to try and meet up with the other group here. But this is where DauT really could use a stable to start making some scouts to deal with the eventual skirms from Barles.
And he has to know what's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it basically plays out the exact same, with the exception of that Yo Sebastian game, which has played out so, but that's the exception to the rule. This is the way it usually plays out on Land Madness, is DauT actually goes for a blacksmith instead. He's got a lot of spearmen here, and he's using his scout to good effect, chasing away that first skirmisher from Barles.
The thing that DauT does so well that a lot of other players are really resistant on is he just makes more units, right? Like, he's not going to just go for like as little army as possible and micro it perfectly. But what he's going to do is he's going to get that next step on you. He's going to get that next upgrade, get just a crazy amount of army. But he does have to respect the skirms. Yes, he's Malian, so his spears have a little bit of armor, naturally. He's going to need to have something that can actually be a good answer to the skirms, and there's the stable now. I love DauT's farming code, though, Dave, so I think he could produce quite a few of those.
Oh, like Barles' farm eco too. And he didn't have to afford horse collar, which is one of the things. Like, the berry bonus is nice for Franks, the HP on the scouts is nice, but the farm bonus means you can get into that range a little bit faster. Skirmishers come out a little bit faster, and he negated all the pressure there from DauT. Resources collected really, really similar. DauT's trying to keep that scout alive as long as possible. He's done a good job of it so far. And now Barles forced to expedite that blacksmith because he really wants fletching to help out against this army.
Yeah, and DauT might feel like this is maybe an opportunity for him. He should have some scouts on the way, but the reality is the blacksmith completes. And there's DauT's market. So
yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing DauT does really well. So he makes enough army for you to really have to respect it. And then if you don't deal with the army fast enough, DauT's going to be in Castle Age before you because he loves to sell off his stone. But
1 kill so far in this game.
Yeah, but it's going to lead to a big battle, right? It's gonna be really close fight as well. Like, I think the army for DauT is just too awkward for Barles to deal with. And
it all depends on whether DauT lets his spearmen stray away from the archers, right? It's all about control here. And DauT's micro might not be pristine, but it seems like he's always controlling just in time to save his units. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done as Barles is forced into a tower on the gold.
Yeah, and so you're just worried about this army. You're worried about the here and now, and then DauT's already zooming his way to Castle Age. It's been the perfect amount of army from DauT. He hasn't over or under invested. Barles still producing, though, and Barles just wants to clear this up. If he can clear this up, he could just head right over to DauT's base. DauT is wide open now, but it's DauT's offense that is providing good defense right now.
Does he need the scouts at home anymore, is the question.
I think with the tower, he doesn't necessarily
No, I think he can go forward. But at the same time, if you suspect that DauT is in the market already, which is, a reasonable assumption, knowing DauT, then you want to kill this army while it's in the corner. DauT is putting himself in a position that is not very good over here. You want to kill this before DauT can upgrade it. But meanwhile, behind this, DauT has added the second stable.
Yeah, DauT doesn't care, dude.
He doesn't plan on upgrading this stuff.
This is amazing. Yeah, this is like, he's taking this army. He might trap himself here, but he's essentially giving himself a shot at a good fight because he finds a hill. He's taking this army as far away from his base as possible. And Barles, he still can't engage easily because DauT's kept those spearmen running back and forth. Still has his own scouts here. It's just So well played from DauT. Dude, he's going to be at Castle Age making knights soon, and Barles still hasn't cleared this up.
Yep. It will be a full clear here. Pressure will come back across, but how many scouts will Barles have alive? It's only going to be 3.
Oh,
maybe
dude.
less.
Yeah, that spearman. There was a couple leftover spears in there, and they did just enough. DauT scouts have upgrades too.
Wow, that's so good for DauT.
That's amazing. That's so
and now
amazing.
Barles goes for the market, but that's 2 minutes too late.
Yeah, that's crazy. DauT has played this so well. Just enough army, perfect timing. And it's gutsy, right, to play this open. He's not full walled at all, but there's no army for Barles to threaten him with. And now DauT could just do whatever he wants here with knights.
And Barles doesn't know about the stable switch either. Like, he can assume, but he doesn't know because he didn't see it. As the knights come forward, would love to see more spears sitting on that stone terrain there. He's going to move his skirmishers over there instead, and he's going to wall up his woodlines again. But the knights from DauT are definitely threatening, and Barles quickly goes for that wall to prevent the knights from getting in on the gold. That could have been annoying.
Yeah, so you can't wall in the stone, as I'm sure everyone knows by now, because they've seen Land Madness 100 times. But it doesn't matter that the units can kind of pass into your base, because everything's somewhat protected by the TC fire. If there were ranged units from DauT, like this one archer, could actually be an issue for anything that's walled in. But man, Barles is still so far off from Castle Age. Like, it's not like he's going to be up now to be able to make knights. This is crazy.
Really good job from DauT. Controlling not only the unit positions from Barles, but what units Barles is going into early.
Yep.
And then making that switch perfectly on time into the cavalry. And he clears up the spearmen, and now Barles has exposed village. This is a nightmare for him.
Yeah, I mean, literally a nightmare. Yep, knights all up in his eco. The archer still hasn't been picked off on the other side. Barles is probably thinking, what on earth went wrong? I went for so many scouts, so many skirms. I was against spearmen and archer mainly, and skirms couldn't cut it for me. And what DauT could do with this position is expand to a second town center. He could also maybe start picking up those relics. Or he could just stay 1 TC. He's got 9 knights against an opponent who is 5 in queue out of 2 stables right now.
This worked out so much better than normal archer range openings on this map. And I think it's just because DauT played it to perfection.
He played it without archers in his long term, right? The archers accomplished what they were set out to do, which was to buy time for knights. Instead of trying to go crossbow and then, you know, losing everything before Castle Age. Look how patient he's playing here, right? The archer's still there. He is underneath the TC, but, well, he doesn't have armor. So maybe that could be an issue, but it seems like DauT thinks this is an acceptable fight.
Doesn't.
Yeah, DauT's like, your whole eco's idle. Even if I lose these knights, you're not going to be able to make more. I'm going to be able to make more. And second TC for DauT. That's a lovely TC, actually, between those 2 golds. Monks are going to be up at home as well.
A few too many losses under that TC there for DauT. He was trying to snipe those weak knights. Credit to Barles for saving those.
Yeah.
Combined 24 HP.
Yeah.
Really 10% HP there.
Ooh, and a conversion comes in. And Barles could use that knight on the weak knight, maybe? No. I mean...
The archer was being annoying. It was being annoying on the woodline. He takes it out.
I mean, DauT, you're right. A lot of players would heal up their weak units here. DauT has just kind of tossed his units away. And so maybe a chance for Barles to come back? Maybe? DauT is...
It's going to be tough. Second TC now from DauT.
Yeah.
He has the camel potential, which Barles can't make.
Yep. And camels are going to be great. And DauT drops TC number 3. Really like the TC positions, right? 1 on stone, 1 on gold. Wood is already protected with walls. And DauT is always here, so he knows that Barles isn't going for any type of counterattack because he always sees this army. I just don't know, like, what DauT has done here is so hard to replicate. It is, like, more likely that you are just going to lose your army, and then your casters are going to be like, what? Why did this guy make more army before Castle Age? This was too greedy, right? But it's like the calculated level of greed that DauT's able to achieve in games is just so crazy.
I think there was a world where Barles could have sent the scouts forward and just had the skirms in
Yeah,
defense.
yeah, agreed.
And even though it didn't look like there was much to hit on the woodlines, there is still spots to pressure, right? You can pick off the farmers that are far away from the TC. You can idle that TC. You can force the first few knights and camels back. And that gives you a little bit more time in early Castle Age to get up to Castle Age yourself.
Yep.
But Barles just wanted to clear that army because he thought DauT was going to upgrade those archers to crossbows.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be a real threat. But DauT had no intention of doing any of that.
Yeah, I think what you said is correct. I think the way for Barles to be in a better spot this game was actually just to counterattack with those scouts. But you just don't know that if you're in the dark and in the player's position. And you feel as though clearing up your opponent's army is never a bad thing. So I think the other thing that made it bad was that it wasn't really that good of a clear. Like, he made so much, it took so long, and he didn't really convincingly win any fight or have anything left over. So that was part of the issue, too.
Knights still targeted for conversion by those monks. DauT is trying to get them, but Barles runs out. And he's out of range now. He adds in the barracks. So pikemen coming in for Barles. He's going to try and push, but DauT steadily climbing further and further ahead on economy right now.
Barles is going to try and force some fights. There's no question in his mind that he's behind. He knows after how this game has gone. He's seen both of these TCs from DauT. He has to delete his knights because DauT was going for conversions there. Yikes. I think I probably just hope I get lucky there and run away. It's already bad.
I mean, there is a situation where maybe Barles can overwhelm, but look at the stone count from DauT. If the pikemen are a threat suddenly to your camels, well, you have an out. And that's the Gabetto. And the castle can help protect part of your eco, right? So Barles is coming forward with the villager for a siege workshop to pressure that area. That's the most likely area for DauT to put a castle on.
And and DauT has vision. Like the outposts give him vision. He's so good, man. He's just so good. And actually, Barles might have even canceled the workshop because he was spotted. He's going to find more outposts. But you don't want DauT to know what's coming.
Well, DauT knows what the idea is now. He saw the initial one. Like, he knows.
And of course, like in every DauT game, we are going to have a castle that ends the game one way or another here. I think a defensive castle wins the game for DauT. He's going to go. He's going to fight this.
If nothing else. And that's a fight DauT wants to take.
Uphill is a little awkward. But he did kill the monks, and he's getting conversions. Yep. And he actually falls back to his hill as well. This is going to be a fine fight for DauT. He won't even need the castle. And he has just played this one perfectly to start off the series, which leads you to thinking, like, where is Barles going to find his wins today if DauT could do that? That was so impressive from him. Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't fancy. It wasn't, the best micro we've ever seen or anything like that. It was just good, solid gameplay. He was in his opponent's head, and he played the transition game perfectly.
Yeah, and I will say this about his opening. Like, it's fairly common. If your timing isn't correct with moving forward with the initial spearmen and the archers, if you have like one less spearmen or too few archers or upgrades, whatever, that whole push looks so stupid, right?
Yep.
Like against skirms, only making 3
dude.
scouts and going up, like it looks really problematic, but it was just enough at the perfect time. Everything about that was like borderline flawless.
Also,
even just under 2 minutes of idle TC time when he's on 3 TCs against 1 TC. It is so impressive.
There was a moment there when Barles still hadn't dropped that range, and he was making a house, and he already had 35 pop space. Like he made 2 or 3 unnecessary houses there before the range. So he could have theoretically had that range up a lot sooner and pushed that back a lot sooner. And then suddenly his scouts have some room to play where DauT doesn't even have a stable yet producing. So maybe just missed out on a few of the timings. But when we're talking about little details like that, it just means that DauT's game plan was really, really solid to begin with. So great job from him. He takes game number 1. Don't think it was that close. And Barles will need something game number 2 here.
Dave, we have to immediately look at the boars here, okay? Immediately look at the boars. Here we are, border dispute. And there's 4 boars in the middle, and players need to go get them right away. I've seen games lost if players don't do that. And usually it is 2 per player. And DauT is going to snag his 2, and Barles is going to snag his 2 as well.
Very rare you don't get both of them. Like, very, very rare.
Yeah, I guess DauT's just camping the one with his scout there. So Lithuanians have the extra food, adds for a little bit of a flexible start. Goths actually do, their hunt lasts longer and they kill the boars faster, which makes it convenient here. Players are close together, but unlike most maps, they're going to expand their economies pretty much the opposite direction from each other here. But it's hard to really boom on this map with all the elevation.
Bit of a weird generation, how they're both kind of to the side of that pond. Usually it's right in between the TCs, and that can matter, actually.
Yeah, true. There are fish in the middle. There's 4 of them, but...
You're all kind of on Barles' side.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, true.
But usually Lithuanians player is the one going for the DauT, right? Not the Goths.
Yeah, and DauT might... I'm just not sure if you do anything about it here. Oh, he is going to dock. Okay, so yeah, I was just going to say milling here is kind of awkward because you have to build the mill so far. Docking allows you to drop off the food a bit closer. Not to mention that having a dock right next to your opponent's eco is pretty nice as the game goes on.
Brahmins, man.
Fast in, baby!
Yep.
DauT needs to find a whole lot of deer.
If this was sudden death, dude, that would be his threat.
I mean, there are plenty of deer out there. And DauT sees the dock coming up for Barles here, but Barles is getting loom already. So we might actually see a pretty long villager war here. But you can't make demos in Dark Age, guys. I think that would change a lot here. I don't think anyone would come out here if you could.
Dude, you know those sponsorship emails that you get? Like for games and stuff and like alpha versions of games and whatever?
Yeah.
I know this sounds random, but in the game before, in the Yo vs. Sebastian set, when we were looking at those demos, I briefly glanced at my phone and I had a preview of an email, and it said, check out this demo. And I was trying to work it into the conversation. I was like silent for like 20 seconds there because I think it was before the Cav Archers got boomed.
Oh, man.
And it was just so perfect, the timing on it.
If only that would have been like a Windows notification or something on screen,
true.
You know? That would have been sick.
Yeah.
All right, so Barles is up to Feudal Age. DauT's on the way up to Feudal Age, and they're boxing here. And with the Relic being there, it could be kind of awkward to move around. Villagers could get trapped, but DauT loses a Vill.
For Barles. Yep.
This is
Barles is up to Feudal first, so DauT will need to... As soon as Barles gets up to Feudal, he's got about 30 seconds to get out of this area quick.
Yeah. I think what you do here for Barles is you just kind of rotate. He's got some weak ones, so I'm just waiting for him to rotate, send the weak ones home, and send some full HP Vills to the middle, but he plays a lot of Black Forest. I guess DauT does too these days, but I would consider Barles to be like a true Black Forest player.
Oh, Barles might be the best Black Forest player in the world.
And he's and he's insane with Vill rushes because of how common that is there. In fact, I think for his team in Black Forest events, he usually plays flank, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, he always does.
So he could be the one that does this type of thing, yep.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he's going to leave up the middle. I mean, how fast do you think DauT leaves this area when he sees Barles is in Feudal?
I think he's dropping off.
DauT, you got to get out of there. Get out of there. Yeah, okay. See, I like this because so many other people try and stay a little bit longer and be a little bit nerdier with it. DauT's just like, I'm not taking the risk.
Barles needed a villager at like 10 HP to just bait, because DauT's going to try and get it, right? Just to bait him into sending those. But DauT is actually sending the villagers to the left side, and he's going forward.
Barles, you need to leave as well, bro. You made a demo to kill Vills. Don't leave your 3 Vills on the same fish right in the middle of the map where DauT can see it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
At least, spread them out. Oh, man. Oh, he's leaving. Okay.
Nice. He did the math. Oh,
he really did the math.
Tristan. Oh, he did the math, bro.
Wow, that's pretty epic. Well, elsewhere we're going to have a range and a barracks from both. I wonder if DauT is looking for deer. We saw a prepped strategy from Sebastian on another map where there's extra deer spots. It's harder to find here, but I have seen this map quite a few times, and players will build mills out there. So finding that, killing that off could be really helpful.
Yeah, people do lame it with the spearman as well, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think it makes
really,
sense.
really good, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there is a discount, I guess, on these spearmen for the Goths. I don't think we'll see many more. Looks like it's just going to be skirms and economy from here. And both players will have a demo towards the middle, so be curious to see if anyone ever goes through the middle at this point.
God, it's crazy how like Alpine and this map have just evolved to just be skirmisher maps.
I know.
Because you can't really make scouts because the base is so congested. So a couple spearmen will negate your entire push, or a couple walls, right? You can't make archers because if someone makes skirms, your archers won't be able to do anything. So the only unit you can really go for is skirm. And then once you have a big skirm army, then you transition into something else.
It is interesting. It's the same amount of resources, if not a little bit more than a standard map too. It's not like they don't have food. They have the food.
The best strat I saw in here was the freaking dungeon rush, dude. Oh my god, ACCM got absolutely cooked by a dungeon rush.
Dude,
I forget.
I actually think, especially if the meta is going for spears and skirms, and we've said there's multiple maps, I actually think that could be good because sergeants are no joke.
It was crazy good.
Sergeants are no joke against normal units in feudal, but especially trash units, and the tower could be really strong too, which is obviously what the dungeon provides. So
forget who that was against, but they really did a great. Oh, I think it was Dark. I think it was Dark who absolutely destroyed ACCM, and ACCM got up to Castle Age so much faster. It was just feudal age sergeants.
All right, so just spears and skirms, like we said. Barles makes it over to DauT's base. DauT defends, though, with some skirms. 8 skirms for both, actually. Very even game, but Barles has more farms, which I think is a positive for him. And he's also disrupting DauT's eco, which is another slight positive for him. So this has looked even in terms of how the game is being controlled, and I would prefer the Lithuanians over the Goths with trash like this because of the speed they have. So
you don't want to lose that scout for free, though.
Yeah, true. Oh, he was hoping he could get away with it.
Edge.
Meanwhile, DauT Scout is able to see everything, look around. He keeps going in circles around the eco of Barles, trying to see if there's any sneak buildings. You basically want to know if there's going to be scouts at this point, I think.
Yeah, you're looking for that stable, right?
Yep. DauT is kind of making these circle walls and might be planning for a market soon. I know him, and he's on gold, so I expect the market.
His wood lines are just not good, though. Like, you never want to be defending. You know how annoying this is. When you have your skirms inside the base, and he has skirms on the outside of your wood line, and it just feels like, unless you have fletching advantage, which DauT is getting the blacksmith now, it feels like you can never really kill any of it.
Yeah.
And they keep harassing your wood line.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Look at that mining camp from Barles. That house and the farms kind of made that situation awkward. It's not the worst.
That's the starting house, right?
Yep. It'll get the job done. Market from him. I like how he's naturally walling to the edge of the map. If he could continue to do that, it could be really good. And always destroying the fight.
Yeah, DauT is banking on fletching right now as his advantage, but Lithuanian skirms are just faster. Barles has way more, and DauT's going to be pushed away from that gold with the skirms, and then he's going to tank a lot of damage with these vills.
Barles just needs to be careful. That's a really good fight. He just needs to make sure that oh my god, he continues to win the fight.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, DauT he's got different modes, right? So when he's in tourney mode, he's not streamer DauT. But if this was streamer DauT, he was live right now,
God.
He'd be like, I have the upgrade advantage. Micro is cheating, you know? That's perfect for Barles. Like, ideal situation is to take better fights with less upgrades, that's for sure. And
Barles hits the market first. DauT's going to get in there and be like, what?
Dude, DauT bought a ton of food.
Yeah, DauT's like, what are these prices?
I love that. I also love how Barles has continued to mix in some more army here. I think it would probably be worth it to get fletching now because you've already clicked up to Castle Age. But I could also see an argument if you're already controlling DauT's gold, already confident in the fights, where you just skip it entirely and save the resources for the knights.
Beautiful job from Barles so far, clearing up those skirms.
Yeah, dude.
Really, really solid job.
Well, I think this is like the first game was amazing from DauT, but Barles was never able to have control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is Barles showing everybody what he can do if he has a bit of initiative. And maybe it'll be one of those sets. Normally it is, where players at this level are just fighting to be the one that takes initiative. But
I really like the fact that Barles is like starting the wall to the right side of the map.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Now I want him to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
He probably just selected all of his idols and sent that villager to a task. That would be me, but yeah, I think if he can get TCs up there on the additional gold pile, could be really nice. I wouldn't mind a town center next to his new lumber camp too, just to
Armor
protect that
coming in.
area.
Stable coming in from Barles. Wouldn't mind seeing him maybe buy stone if he has the wood available for a TC on the stone, and then get into lattice, because I think lattice are really strong on this map.
Yeah,
You get a very, very strong mobile unique unit. Can be devastating.
I want to see Barles send his first knights directly to DauT's base. DauT is confused right now. DauT thinks that's full walled. It's not, but how often do we see that, right? Where a player says, oh, he's walled part of it. I'm not going to waste time trying to check. He must be walled.
Demo versus demo.
Thanks for calling.
Explosive engagement.
Thanks for calling that one out, man. Almost missed it. Oh, man.
I'm on it, bro. I'm on it.
Have you looked anywhere else this game? Or are you just staring at that?
I just look. I literally just came back to it, bro. I got a sixth sense for that sort
I
of
mean,
thing.
it's not. We're not really looking at 70% of this map. We're just looking towards the middle. Now, going knights is a great thing against Scurbs, but now suddenly you start to get a little fearful, I imagine, when the Goths have that many spearmen. And that is discounted as well for DauT, so he'll feel pretty comfortable. And again, what I said about DauT is sometimes he just makes more army. That's what he did in Feudal Age initially in the previous game. That's what Goths are all about, dude. Just make more than your opponent. And you could just kind of close in on their army, lose a unit or two, still win the fight that way. But this is dangerous for DauT. Oh, man, DauT doesn't know this. He didn't see that at all. Yeah.
Knights are bumping. They can't get by the spearmen. So that's unfortunate for Barles, but he does kill a villager, and he's got another knight on the other side running away from the pikeman. Barles has the second TC on the stone. So he's definitely gearing up for a castle, and he saw the mining camp there from DauT. So you might want that castle potentially to deny a forward castle from DauT as like a counter.
I really love how Barles has moved with his units here. I do have to say, abandon the archer, bro. That archer is making the rest of your army so much slower. It's good movement, but you could really keep DauT on the run if you booted that archer out of the group.
It's not really something you're thinking about, because normally the archer would be like the same speed as everything else, right? It's just a very niche situation. That's a great call out, actually.
Yeah, I mean, well,
great call out.
He did a great job maneuvering anyways. But it looked like DauT was going to get on top of him there, and I was just thinking, how is he not moving faster here?
That's the last thing. DauT on top of you? Deadly.
Yep, dead. Second TC there for DauT. I love how Barles is switching positions with the knights. He's got knights just streaming in. Heads over to the gold, where he knows villagers are probably weak from earlier, but has to pull away. DauT's going to try and snag a relic here. He might find himself a knight. Barles, you got to delete there. And yeah, smart delete.
You know what could... I've said this so many times. You know what could go super hard on this map, in this specific matchup?
Brahmins?
That as well. Hill forts. Because I've seen this map develop where each player has like 5 TCs in random positions, and people are castle dropping TCs and stuff. That's a tech that could sneak up on you.
I think in that Nomad...
fishing ship?
All right. A fishing ship is to bait the opponent in to kill it, so he could go for a demo hit.
Hey, I like the way you think, dude.
That's shaping.
Great. That's a great call out.
I'm only saying it because I know how happy it would make you, but I think,
dude, DauT still thinks it's fully walled over here. That's funny.
Yeah, that is really funny. Oh man. I love how Barles has continued to mine stone. Sometimes players try and be cute with it, but he's going ham on the stone there. He's raiding on the side here, killing some monks, but he does lose a decent amount of his army as well. He's going to convert the knight back. DauT deletes, and DauT has delete that one too, so that ends up being a pretty good trade for Barles.
DauT is almost through the non-wall for Barles, and now he's through. Barles has the siege workshop though, so he'll go for a mangonel. Going to be difficult for DauT to deal with this with the TC and the mangonel and villagers there to repair.
Could be a big shot, but with so many pikemen in the mix, you really don't want your mangonel to be far away from your TC. And DauT is going to have... we'll see what happens with him defending at home, but it feels like DauT is going to have some peace at home. And the trash
he's losing
units...
his whole army to the TC, which is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Now the Knights clear up the skirms because they all died to the TC. Dude, that TC has 5 kills, pikeman kills.
Oh, man. And honestly, the pikes are pretty weak. I think the mangonel might even survive here.
And Barles will have a castle soon. Barles, you got to repair that.
Repair!
Buddy! Oh, man. DauT just gets it. All right, somewhat worth.
If he had wheelbarrow, he might have been able to keep up with that. The Villas was just too slow.
That's wheelchair to you.
Yeah, wheelchair, sorry. And what is it? Electric wheelchair for handcart? No, I think that's what he said, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is electric wheelchair. Atonement for Barles. Ooh.
All right. Okay. I mean, this castle on a scale of standard
You're
to
gonna get
DauT
another one
is
soon,
somewhere in
dude.
between. But I like this castle.
You're gonna get another castle soon. It locks down this whole side. Right?
Yeah. DauT, again, outposting, which he did in the previous game. That's so helpful for him here, so he could have the pikes prepared.
Also, what this castle does, and it might be in the back of Barles' mind, it forces an engagement, and Barles has atonement.
Oh, does Barles have atonement?
Yeah, he got atonement. So
that's huge then. DauT won't expect
I'm
that.
going to convert all the monks. And this might be why Barles went for a castle like this within sight of DauT's range.
That castle is going to go up. DauT's going to lose monks one way or another. Knights have killed the pikemen on the other side.
And he's
DauT's having
healing
some
up the
big
villagers.
problems.
So the pikes aren't even killing them. He's just healing them up behind. So really, really solid.
Dave, for as convincing as DauT's performance was in the first game, Barles has been just as convincing in this game. Yeah. His opening, he was controlled, right? It was the same thing. Faster castle age, and he's used every advantage since. He's massacring DauT there in the north. DauT has no response. DauT is panicking now, dropping down barracks. And Barles is going to have that second castle soon. And DauT can't really seem to do any damage to Barles. Look back at the eco for Barles for a moment. Look at that eco and how he's expanded there. That's ridiculous.
Look at the farm eco.
Yeah.
41 place. Wow. Okay. And
auto
latest
farm,
now
man.
in the field. DauT is not using the auto
DauT
farm.
doesn't.
He can't be using it.
No, DauT's not. Barles, I think a couple groups of those might have been. Because remember, they're both on a server where they're not going to have a lot of ping. And that's where you can really utilize that. The previous series was high ping for Sebastian and Yo, so we didn't see it too much. I mean, we're looking for a response from DauT. I guess the hopeful thing I'll say for DauT fans is I've seen Goths come back from some pretty rough situations with their infantry.
Castle right there in between the TCs. DauT sends the monks into atonement monks, and they get converted with full faith.
Oh, and the other monk actually...
At least one of them does.
Oh, he's dead.
No, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the most castleable position I've ever... No, in between!
He's scared, dude. He's scared.
Don't be frightened.
He's scared. I love that. DauT...
He's a little timid.
I mean, that castle goes up. It's still really strong, and it denies DauT stone. DauT deletes his monk and has a bunch of pikes coming in. I think Barles just has to fight this. You just fight it.
You just go for a wall there, or you just heal up all the damage the pikes are doing to your...
Yeah, the castle will go up. Yeah. If there's a risk the castle doesn't go up, maybe toss a couple knights away. Now DauT's got 2 castles to contend with. And Barles has 2 relics as well. So he can make Latus... DauT is just simply going to get massacred here. Even though the population says it's even. I mean, DauT has done a better job at expanding his eco than I really thought.
There have been some crazy late games on this map where people just have like 7, 8 TCs and are just spamming. I remember one was Sato, where he probably had 13 barracks spamming pikemen in Castle Age and like 10 TCs. And he was just sending pikemen into castles, TCs. He was just trying to extend the game as long as he possibly could. I mean, I don't think DauT can really do much here against the castle stack, especially once Barles gets to imp.
Yeah, I think Barles has put himself in a good position to actually switch out of Cav, which is the only thing that DauT's prepared to deal with right now.
Hand cannon could be brutal.
Yeah. Does lose 2 knights on the right side there, Barles. There's pikes everywhere, even on the left side for DauT. But yeah, you just get chemistry and mix in some gunpowder, and then it's going to be tough for DauT. DauT needs to find some eco damage.
You could go skirm as well. Like,
Ooh,
There's
Dave,
a lot of things you could do to
you
open
might like
things
what's
up.
about to happen. If DauT's not paying attention, he could get lured into the demo. No.
No.
That's a long way to get distracted.
Is
Yeah.
DauT going to go attack that wall again, or is he actually going to go to the back now?
I think he
Ooh,
may have clicked through this time.
Okay.
It's kind of funny that Barles has left it open as well. Like, you'd think it's like, oh, he didn't go through this time. Let's make sure he doesn't go through next time. But yeah, he sees the pike raid. He walls in his vills. DauT hasn't clicked up yet. I would normally say that pike ram could be really good against one castle, but I think if you have two castles next to each other, it just gets too difficult.
Also remembering those are goth units. They're going through the buildings. But
honestly, more people need to be researching hill forts, dude. You were right.
It's a great technology, but I mean, it doesn't really help them here at all.
Yeah. But it would help you now, right? If you garrison that TC. I think I said this already, or at least I was gonna say it. So apologies if I repeat myself. But if Hard researched hill forts against Tata when Tata was in his base with Gabetto on that Nomad game, I think it would have helped a lot. Don't know if it would have won in the game.
Hart was very distracted there either way.
Yeah. Yeah, DauT is imping. And he is imping from a town center that should be safe from any trebs. But soon hand cannons will come out for Barles, 40 seconds away from chemistry. And DauT's counterattack is only killing a bear. It has done nothing more than that. Hasn't really distracted Barles at all.
Barely noticeable.
Oh, man. Look at the outpost for Barles. That's sick. To have control in so many different areas and then also
got insane vision.
Make sure that DauT doesn't expand so we can find any type of eco out there.
I think town
really
patrol
smart.
is actually a legitimate tech here.
Yeah, I think on a map where you are going to expand so much more, it's really worth it. I think on another map where you just kind of know and it's less messy, maybe players won't do it as much, but Elite Latus isn't bad.
Oh, Elite Latus. Oh, man. I mean, it is Goss, and DauT does have 42 pikemen, and he's still got 46 on food. He's got 111 villagers somehow, but he's losing the whole front side of his base. And all the golds, the stones there. And Barles will see if DauT tries to expand because he's got outposts all along that right side and the left side too.
Hand cannons are now on the way. Nice shove from Barles to get that vision like we said. Still dealing with some pikes. The hand cannons will eventually deal with that. But that's nice from DauT to finally harass there. Barles has to be careful here, man. Like, if Goths could get... Like, Huskarls, when elite, could actually kill hand cannons pretty quickly. They also die to hand cannons pretty quickly, but...
They also died at latest instantly.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, like, how Huskarl, maybe?
Yeah.
For DauT?
I don't think Barles should ever lose from this position.
I agree. The population says DauT's still in it.
Oh,
but Barles has
DauT with
played
the quick gate at the back. Hang on a second.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like those Latus will die. Nice castle from Barles on the right-hand side. And Barles now up to 10 hand cannons. It's about to be 30, though. His ranges are... Maybe he could do with a few more ranges. He's only got 3, which is part of the issue here. But still getting excellent value.
He's got 18 hand cannons in the queue. Yeah, if he just keeps these things alive and then makes like 4 or 5 trebs, I think that's a stack that DauT just can't deal with.
Yeah. And if you build a castle with the push and forced out to fight you now,
yeah,
that's where it gets dangerous. But I mean, it already is dangerous for DauT, but it just gets so much worse.
DauT's getting chemistry of his own. He's tech switching into skirm. Still only 2 trebs here from Barles.
How did DauT get those relics back? That's actually a pretty big deal, right?
He took one from the center.
Yeah. I guess Barles was a little distracted. But Barles, he's going to have a composition that you pretty much dream of when playing with the Lithuanians. You're going to have elite Latus and hand cannons. Barles.
Extremely demoable.
Barles.
He's quick gating.
He's quick gating.
You forgot about the
hill forts. Come on.
Come on.
He's focusing on the push. The Halb's making it into the back of his eco. There's actually some leftover hand cannons from before, so that's convenient. And DauT's going to send everything he's got to try and defend this castle. DauT's got 20 vills in queue. Crazy, but if he loses this castle, all of that eco's exposed. So he's going to use his trebs.
Look at how many hand cannons are here. And the bomber cannon to deal with the skirms, too.
Yeah.
And the latest, elite latest.
Full
These
armor.
things can mow through Halbs.
Yeah, they'll mow through the skirms. They'll mow through the trebs. No stone for DauT. He needs to buy it. He's building, I think, a new market. He must have lost a market at some point. And he's building the market directly next to the castle, which is hilarious to me.
If I see that level of urgency in building a market, I'm targeting that thing, dude. Like, I see someone building a market in the front lines in the late game, I'm like, that needs to go.
And DauT calls the GG.
GG.
1-1.
Nice
And
job for Barles.
I said it like 10 minutes ago now, but for as good as DauT played game 1, DauT played Barles played just as good game 2. It was great control. Sure, like maybe in some ways you could say the Lithuanians have, a killer comp available that maybe the Goths can't get to, but we've seen the Goths get to late game many times in tournaments these days. And it really goes back to Feudal Age for me. Barles just did a much better job, and then early Castle is when he snowballed his lead with the economy.
Well, how are you supposed to get up to Castle Age faster when you have skirms constantly harassing you, and then you go out with your own skirms and you just lose every fight?
Yeah.
Right? Like, Barles did a wonderful job with that, holding the hill, and then DauT was on the back foot ever since that point.
And to make matters worse, he lost the fights, but DauT invested into more upgrades. And then after losing the fights, he had to make more units, so he just spent so much more. Yeah. So 2-1 or almost 3-1 KD there for Barles. And DauT will decide on what we go for next. But yeah, I'm happy to see that for Barles. Game number 1, it didn't look too good for him, but happy to see he's in top shape here.
What I want to see is someone like fish booming on that map, because they've transported a villager over to the corner and made a dock on like one of those little boggy areas or whatever. And it's like somewhere you'd never explore. Like I want to see
they need to add value there. They need to add a reason for players to take the risk.
Yes. Like some more fish in the corners or
Maybe.
something.
Ooh, bro, we're about to see a cow war and a sheep war. A cow and sheep war, because both players go into the same area here on Spiral. DauT actually, it's interesting. He's seen the deer, and the deer are normally next to the berries, so he should come back. And he is going to come back. And when he gets here, he's going to see that Barles is already here. And the first person to get the hit here might end up getting the cow and the sheep, and they both notice each other. And I don't know, do you free them? Oh, you flip a coin.
You just don't want to get anywhere near this hill.
How is
against a Tatar
DauT like
player.
a half second ahead?
I'm not even looking at the HP. I'm not even looking at it. Barles is going to win.
No, DauT's going to win. Wait, now it's got... What? Am I missing something?
Oh, DauT got the extra hit. Oh, no. It usually, from what I found, dude, I've watched so many of these where I'm not like a player, right? I'm just watching it. Usually, from what I found, if they're even at the first attack, whoever has like the advantage early is the one who's losing.
Who loses?
It's
yeah,
weird. It's weird.
It is weird. That's actually how I view it as a player, and then I lose the scout anyways, and I get it wrong. But what I'm curious on there, and we don't have to rewatch it, but I was looking at the HP, and DauT's damage was coming in like a half second faster, and then somewhere through the fight, it was just even out of the blue.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I just never saw it with the HP before. I've always had this weird theory, like, yeah. Well, anyways, not that important. They are still going to fight over the control of these, and actually, with DauT being Tatars, that's pretty significant boost for him because he gets 50% more.
That's really, really nice for him to grab those. And now he knows exactly where Barles is going with his scout now. And he's got the higher HP scout. He's likely going over to the other fence. Unless Barles wants to go take a snapshot of DauT's eco, see what the build's going to be. I really like Tatars here on this map, man. Like, Japanese get the early advantage with the fish and whatnot, and cheaper lumber camps and mills and stuff. But if we're thinking Castle Age, If
Dude.
we're thinking late stage, I think Tatars have a lot more potential.
The extra sheep, the amount of hills, the
Yeah.
fact that Cav Archers have done really well on this map, I agree. I think it's a great pick. And
Well,
it's not a pick that's been common in this tournament. Most people aren't picking Tatars. They're going for the Malians, the Lithuanians, maybe like Magyars or Japanese. So I think...
hang on a second. Do we think that Barles knew DauT would pick? Now I've got my fingers touching each other like Mr. Burns right now, and I'm just kind of, you get the picture. Do we think Barles knew that DauT would pick Tatars and go Cav Archers, so he's going to go Japanese Cav Archers, which then get the attack bonus versus the Tatar Cav Archers?
No, you don't think about the game that way. Like, if it was, I go Camel Archers versus Cav Archers and it's significant, then maybe. Now, that might be something that allows him to justify Cav Archers later on. So...
Excellent.
So what is assumed here, because players haven't really scouted each other's base as much, what is assumed is that both players will have docks. And now you really need to go out there and see what strategy your opponent's gonna build up towards. Wow, we have Barles going for a galley, Dave. That's a bit different because he's concerned.
He just wants to deny the dock, yeah.
Yeah.
But that never denies dock. How often do you see someone make a galley and then they're just one tile away from being able to deny a dock, or maybe like 1 HP? He loses a scout too, but he does see the stable from DauT.
The thing that is nice for Barles, even though he lost the scout, it's not like DauT's scout is going to help with any fights, right? If it's a Georgian scout, you're raging right now. But it's just going to stay on 9 HP. And he's not in that big of a rush to make his own scouts, but DauT does come over here. And look at the paranoia from Barles. He actually checked the other area, too, with the fishing ship. Really thinks DauT's going to forward dock him here.
Okay, he's got the spearman forward, harassing the fishing ship. He might be able to take... Nope. DauT escapes.
Could you justify, like, 2 spears and a Vil to go forward and dock DauT now? Or is it too late?
How many fish are... There's like 1 deep fish left, plus all those shore fish. And you force him to invest.
And it's like right next to the eco.
I'd rather get a market up than that, honestly.
Okay.
Market or blacksmith rather than having to, invest into that dock.
DauT is still not had to build a farm, and he's got like 500 food underneath his TC still. This is really good. So he's going to go for the market because he could do that. Market as well for Barles. So both players thinking about, I assume, rushing to the next stage. And like, we will see scouts try and rush it and kill here, but if both players have defensive spears, which at least DauT does, doesn't feel like the opportunity is going to be there for the scouts to kill too much.
Does DauT hit that market as soon as it goes up? Because Barles' market is right behind. Does he hear that market sound and then immediately just mash that?
Well, it is DauT. He's not going to be doing a lot with his scouts, and he saw the market, and he immediately... It's funny, the roles reverse, right? In the previous game, Barles beat him to the market prices.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember at NAC, what's so fun about that event when we're not casting, we just get to chill and hang out with everyone, right? And talk to the players. And my favorite is to sit with Tato when DauT is playing.
Yeah.
And Tato's commentary on DauT is just so good, dude. Nice snipe here from Barles. Barles maybe could find another villager pick here with Spearman and the scouts. DauT's villager running away. Barles is going to chase. DauT, quick wall time. What would Tato say? Would Tato have faith in you, DauT? Are you going to quick wall?
I would make some outrageous statement like DauT's going to save this villager. And then Tato would just look at me and like roll his eye. Be like, no. It's not happening.
The amount of... I would swear that Tato would say freaking DauT at least 7 times a game. But half of them would be for good reasons, and half of them would be for bad reasons. But
the best is when like either Viper or Tato or whatever starts talking about DauT, and they're like, yeah, we practiced this build. And then, or the same thing happens with Hera talking about Leary or something along those lines, of teammates, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, we practiced this build. And then they completely go off the rails with the build. And they're like, what are they doing? We didn't practice this. It's all wrong.
Yeah.
It's Cav Archers from Barles.
So what Tato told me, he was like, we were joking about when the market would come up. And Tato's like, he's going to build the market with 6 vills this game. I guarantee it. It's 6 vills. And I'm like, no, it'll be 3. He's like, no, it'll be 6. And then someone on the other side's like, no, I think it'll be 4. Everyone's making bets. And then it's like, boom, it's like 6 vills. And Tato's like, yo, you know. This is so funny.
Bro, my Cav Archer theory is correct.
You're correct that they're going Cav Archers, but let's not act like that Barles picked Japanese because he thinks that DauT was going to Tars, and he thinks that going Cav Archers with Japanese is
Someone
better
get Poland on the line. Someone get Poland on the line. We need confirmation.
I think this generation, again, really lends itself towards CA as well. It's kind of interesting how Spiral, you never really know, but they're just so far apart. And neither Civ is really good with Knights, so Cav Archer war it is.
Because we're asking so many hypotheticals here. Does the relic in the south ever get taken?
I'm just gonna say no.
Okay.
I think that's the safe guess, but that's actually pretty interesting. Also, there's 3 relics on the left, and there's 1 relic in the very north. Interesting. And then 1 in the middle. But
Cav Archer matchup. Japanese against Tatars. If Tatars are in the hill, they get the advantage. When Silk Armor comes in, they might have the advantage. But Japanese on flat ground, get the bonus.
I mean, zoom out. There's not a whole lot of flat ground. At least like the hills are positioned so nicely where DauT should always be able to have that hill advantage in the fights. But yeah, it's +2 damage, right? Against other archers, Japanese Cav Archers, which would obviously apply to the CA here. I think the issue I have with the Japanese, and it's not an issue with Japanese, it's just an issue compared to Tatars, is their eco bonuses are pretty much gone at this point. And, oh man, Barles is super fortunate here. That TC timing in the north, it just goes up. And DauT's TC is going to go up, and DauT's going to have the extra sheep, which is what I was saying, so...
Also, how long until Barles gets Thumb Ring, right? Because DauT has it for free.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's a really
huge.
And that is, they don't have the ecos for that right now. Barles isn't going to get that for quite some time. Nice save.
These are doing really good damage, actually. Hang on a second.
So DauT also not opting for a university. How is Barles able to afford this, man? He went for ballistics and a second town center and just as many Cav Archers? That's crazy.
All the wood savings from the lumber camps.
Honestly, I mean, he's made 2. So
100 wood, baby. And the mill.
Mining camp, mill. So
it's 200 wood.
200 wood. That gave him the university, I guess. I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
That also did farm a lot. Not really farmed a lot more than him. I don't know. I'm a little confused. It says Barles has collected 700 more resources, though. So a lot of that might have been wood.
I mean, he had 4 fishing ships, too. And DauT, I think, had only 3.
Wow, DauT is on top of it. He just checked his wood line because I know he's suspicious. He thinks Cav Archers might be looping over there, and he just re-walled that. Unfortunately, it's going to be 2. Unless he micros them.
DauT can dance. DauT can dance. Sometimes.
And DauT.
Not today.
On the hill. Barles might sense that DauT doesn't have ballistics right now, and Barles has gained a nice little villager lead in this Cav Archer war, and he hasn't sacrificed his army count either. Normally, that's the case. If you're getting the lead with ballistics, you're late in other areas, but he is really struggling for farms.
DauT doesn't even have bodkin arrows, so maybe that's part of it.
DauT doesn't have bodkin! Oh, and he's not going to realize that until...
No, he's not. He's going to be like, these stupid units, they won't attack. Why aren't they attacking?
Oh, man.
Well...
Oh, a disaster for DauT on the right-hand side.
TC too, if Barles is aggressive here.
Yeah, he should be. This is amazing for Barles. You just take the fight. You deny the TC. DauT doesn't have bodkin, and Barles is about to be 2-1 up, Dave. This is disastrous. DauT's going to lose all these bills
right now, dude. if Barles holds this position, like there's some really good spots for castles forward if he wants to go that route.
This is sick. Barles has really impressed me here. I mean, he was amazing on this map in Titans League, if you remember, but it's been a while, right? And everyone's played this enough now where you would think that they would be familiar with it. It's not like DauT looks like he's playing poorly here, but missing the Bodkin arrow and ballistics upgrade.
And bloodlines and the armor.
Oh my god.
Barles has so many advantages here.
It's, oh god. And now Barles is on the left-hand side. DauT's trying to build a TC there, and Barles is just all over him right now, Dave. I don't think Barles even knows.
Yeah, normally DauT's response to losing the early engagements with Cav Archers is to add like 3 or 4 more ranges, but I don't think that would help you here. I don't think doubling down helps you at all. Yeah,
and like he was gonna go for a counterattack, but decided he had to come home to clear this up, understandably.
Just great play from Barles.
Yeah,
Missing
he's everywhere.
techs, obviously, from DauT, but a big part of that is the fact that DauT didn't have the eco, and Barles, like you alluded to, somehow did.
Well, remember, Barles did kill 2 Vils, and then he had Japanese fish. And DauT just missing so many shots. Oh, that's so painful.
He just killed 4. And honestly, if you're looking at this in a vacuum, like the +2 attack is great from the Japanese CA, but I would rather take Thumb Ring than that.
Yeah,
free.
I agree. Yeah, Thumb Ring is great. And then the sheep on
and
the
TCs.
Hill bonus. Yeah, and the hill bonus. I was thinking that Tatars would be the superior civ here. It is purely gameplay, I would say. And Barles is just micring like a beast.
These 4 won't die.
Yeah, it's sick. And now more than ever, a reason for DauT to try and get ballistics. But he's been out of gold, Dave, because he ran out of gold underneath his TC. He can't get these other TCs up. Don't tell me this TC is going to be denied.
Does this one get denied? Oh, those Cav Archers are weak. He's on the hill.
Barles doesn't need to take that risk because if the TC goes up, it could shoot some CA. But oh my goodness, the kills.
Oh, TC goes up.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets another one. And DauT's got to be like, how does he have so much range? Like, how is he hitting these shots?
It is wild to me, though, because, like, at a certain point, I think you just have to notice. And it didn't seem like DauT really noticed. Now, was it Bodkin? Was it other things? Who knows? It just felt like Barles was all over him there. And game 1, a masterpiece from DauT. Had so many people thinking, DauT this and DauT that. And Barles is like, hey, I'm here to play today. And he seemed really well prepared for this map. DauT, I think he had a nice civ pick. I think he had it late prioritized in his draft, and he thought that this was going to be an important one for the series. But yeah, he's got to turn it around now. That was rough.
Yeah, that's difficult too because, like, I don't know. It feels like Cav Archer is still good with Tatar there against Japanese. If you have the eco for your upgrades, it was just cleaner. From
look
Barles.
at the KD,
cleaner.
dude.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And
I
I
don't
think
want
like
to look at it anymore.
2 of the losses for Barles with like some spearmen and maybe a scout or 2 he threw away.
Yeah.
I wish I knew. Dave, he made 23 Cav Archers.
He had 4 scouts, so 4 of those losses were scouts.
Yes, and then he didn't lose a single Cav Archer. That entire game.
No.
Not one.
Oh my god. So 4 scouts and 1 spearman.
Yeah. That's what went down, and then he had some spears left over. Crazy from Barles, just clinical. And you do feel that as a player. Now, I think he wasn't coming in here expecting to necessarily get a sweep, but
yeah,
if someone gets a 34, maybe it's better if someone destroys you that much because you don't feel like, oh, I had a chance. It's just like, oh, I played really bad. Whatever. Yeah. Shake it off.
Barles is making the mill at home.
Ooh.
On the wood line. So similar to the Slav's energy, except he wants to garrison this stuff without having to risk going out to the berries. Welcome in, everyone, by the way. Game 4.
Yeah, game 4. So, Gurjara's pretty solid on a map where you're expecting to be up against a lot of Cav. We've seen Franks. We've seen Slavs a lot. Civilization's normally going scouts here, dominate. So, I like the Gurjara's choice a lot. DauT's Poles pick is interesting. I am wondering how many fully farmed fullworks, fully surrounded fullworks he can actually fit in the safe area. Look at DauT. He places his fullwork right on the TC.
I mean, you're missing one potential farm, right?
Yeah, just one.
You should be able to, yeah, just one. It's not bad.
Dude, what if he does this on every side of the TC? I guess every side
What
wouldn't
if
work.
they, Tristan, what if they're both so afraid of each other, they never leave? Like, they only have their starting scouts, and they're both just chilling.
Just chilling inside.
Of the little walls here.
Oh, man. I love...
Development of the meta here, buddy.
I do love, though, how, like, you know, we've seen Enclosed a lot, so we're not introducing it like we used to. But when Enclosed first came out, it's like, all right, guys, what's cool about this map is there's so much risk in taking the outside areas. That's where people are going to be aggressive. We've got the berries, we've got the gold. And these guys are just like, yeah, I'm actually just not going to go out there until way later.
Yeah,
in the game.
it used to be like, okay, we picked meso civs here, and a big part of that was Empire Wars, because this is where it first made its appearance.
True.
But it translated as well into standard RM, where it was like you pick a meso civ and you just spam their gold because they're going to be out there on it. If you do that in this situation, you're going to have a lot of guys standing around not doing much.
So the other thing too, I've always felt like on Enclosed, you just have so much food. So players are just able to just say, skip the berries, not worth the risk, right? 2 rhinos, all the deer, water buffaloes have tons of food. Plus the Gurjara player now gets the forage bush. So, yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to see farm upgrades. I'm assuming we're still going to see scouts because players do eventually need to take the gold. And again, I feel like both golds, especially DauTs, just look brutal here. Every once in a while, it's just real far away.
Yeah, but look at Barles gold, right? If he's ever kicked off of that one, at least DauT has some options somewhat nearby.
Yeah, this is weird. I always thought that like 2 main gold piles were around, but I must be
this
wrong.
one you only get one consistently near you.
Yeah,
and then the other ones are just like kind of random.
Yeah,
where they're gonna show up.
So when I think about a Cav civilization, how they're going to perform, I just think about, does the opponent have help? Honestly, it's the first thing. And in this case, the Poles do not have help. So that could be really good for Barles. If Barles somehow can't make camels, though, he doesn't even get pikemen. So neither civilization having Halb means it's probably going to be pretty Cav dominant in some ways. But I would be concerned if I'm DauT, because your bonus is usually like hussars and knights. Trying to go for Olbuk, I guess, which would be your unique unit, is tough when stone is so hard to find on this map. So I don't know if DauT expected Gurjaras. I think Poles would match up much better against other knight civs, not necessarily a camel civ.
Yeah. I think chakrams are also potentially an issue for Poles later on.
Yeah.
They're a lot more mobile as well than the Olbuk are. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I never really appreciated the tiny little windmill on the bulwark until now. There's something nice about it, you know?
I don't know what it's powering. A toaster?
It's powering the empty granary. Yeah, there's no... Normally, the mills have, like, flowing water or something, right?
Well, I mean, that's what powers the grindstone in the mill, right?
Yeah. But I'm not...
To grind the wheat into the thing into flour or whatever. Whatever it's called. Go ahead, correct me.
No,
Twitch
you're
chat.
good. Bro, you're good. There's no loom for this villager. This villager's not so good. Barles with a misplay and loses the villager. That's sloppy, man. That's sloppy. You were supposed to be safe in here, man.
DauT will take it.
Well, this is... We're really going to have to get creative on how we talk about this at this point. This is just a farm
I'm having
session.
fun, though.
I am too.
Today's been really good.
Dude, and I really love what DauT's doing here. My first thought was, how do you fit farms around all the fullworks? This might not work. But DauT's basically built it so he can get, at least on the initial one, 6 farms around the fullworks, take advantage of the food boost. And then this one might honestly be 7 if he chops a tree. So I like the logic here. He's killed a villager, which obviously is quite nice for him. So advantage him in that way, and he is going to make scouts now as well.
Still leaving himself a hole at the front of his base. Not the worst situation, because he does have the spearman here.
Yeah, and Good luck moving around if you run in that gap here
Yeah,
with Barles. It's going to be really awkward. Ooh. Well, this I'm a little surprised by. DauT thinking about going to the stone. I wonder if he's thinking, I'm going to sell some wood anyways. I go to the stone. Or sorry, I'm going to sell my stone anyways. We go there. That stone ends up giving us the gold. And then if I have vills on stone, I can make the old book.
He's got loom and he's got spears. He should be fine.
Yeah.
Barles is coming in. That villager is going to be healing up over time. And do you notice the little icon on Capture Age that shows the regen right now?
The icon?
Underneath the villager picture, there's a regeneration rate. Handy. Really handy if you're not, down with the math. Maybe your version doesn't have it.
No, it's got it, thankfully. Interesting. That must be new, I suppose.
Yeah, it's new. It's really nice for like the Georgian Cav and the Berserks and the villagers and everything.
Well, it's nice because it's easy. There's so few things that regenerate, so it's hard for me to remember the exact.
Well, there's
number.
more than it used to be. It used to only be Berserks.
Now we've got we've got charge attacks.
We've got villagers. We've got camels for Berbers. We've got we've got a lot of things, man.
All right, so Barles wisely adding 2 spearmen here because he didn't make any spearmen until just now. He did see that DauT's on stone. Dude, DauT's position's looking really smooth. This is great. He's up to Castle Age. He will get some gold trickle from the stone. And yeah, tech tree is probably the main issue for him. But if he can get if he can get a solid eco rolling with the pulls, sometimes it feels like no civ can compete with them.
That's what it used to feel like. I don't know if it still feels like that.
Yeah, it's very situational. I think that usually that window for the pulls to dominate is if they can get that castle up early, think about the unique tech. And so DauT's on stone, but more than likely, he's going to just drop town centers. Would be my guess. He's actually going to add more scouts, though. So maybe extra scouts for light cav, get the relics, boom. That could make a whole lot of sense here. Barles with the range, but I think he's missed out on a timing where he could really benefit from having any archers right now. By the way, since we have chill time to talk about it, predictions for the cup finals.
I don't know, man. It's like Edmonton in 6 because I want to see Edmonton win at home.
I want to see Edmonton win as well. I wouldn't hate it if Florida won.
And the conference finals at home was crazy. The crowd there was crazy.
I was really happy for them.
And Florida, they're going to be happy, but the crowd, the atmosphere in Florida just doesn't compare to the atmosphere in Edmonton.
I mean, I haven't been to Edmonton, right? But I've been to a lot of games in Florida, and they're really hungry, excited fan base. But my prediction is I think Florida wins 4-1. I think Florida's more complete, honestly.
Okay.
The stars for the Oilers are really going to have to step it up. And I hope it's not a wash, No one wants a final to be a 4-0 Hidden Cup 5. Everyone wants a competitive series.
Hidden Cup 4.
Wait, Hidden Cup 4 was not a 4-0. You're thinking of Hidden Cup 3.
Sorry, man.
And then King of the Desert 5. And, the list goes on. So, nice find here from Barles.
I got my Hidden Cups mixed up. Yeah, he's going to kill some villagers. They're healing. Not fast enough, though.
Yeah, it could have been worse for DauT. Only loses one.
One villager dead. Yeah. Resources collected still somewhat even. DauT, of course, getting heavy plow is added in that third full work to get maximum coverage.
Mm-hmm. Someone says, I don't know what you're talking about. There's a team named Oilers?
Dude,
which if you didn't know the sport, I could see why that would sound like a weird team name.
You saw the chick from the Oilers game, right?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
No clue. Okay. It was impressive.
Dave, come on, please. You know me. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Up. Yeah, she might be listening.
No crossbow yet, and only 6 archers here for Barles. He's really found the transition to be a bit awkward. Having said that, he's up against mainly Feudal army here, so I think he's going to be fine. He does seem to be struggling a bit. He's gotten housed. The game looks a bit harder for him right now. It normally is just more awkward if you're playing heavy archers on this map, but
Yeah.
I mean, DauT doesn't exactly have a lot of army to stop the archers if he can get a mass and move forward right now.
God, what a different game than the ones we've seen previously on Enclosed. But I mean, they've both approached this in a very similar way, right? They're just booming up into their compositions here. They're staying as safe as possible. And it's more of a slow burn, which, like we said, is kind of their style.
So here's something interesting. So this is the last set of the round of 16, right? Which means we have 4 sets for the quarters, 2 sets for the semi, 3rd place match final. That's 8 sets, I think. Do you think we'll see a single enclosed game where someone makes a Dark Age mill outside of their base? Or do you think every single game from here on out?
Will. It depends on the civs. Depends on the civs. Like, Gujaras and Poles lean towards this. Slavs lean towards
as well.
this, but Saracens do as well. But something like Chinese, which are still very good here.
Yeah. Chinese, Portuguese. Chinese, right? Portuguese will have to, yeah. I don't think the list of civilizations is that long for this style.
Yo went out with the Franks as well. Franks are very good here too.
Yeah. Well, 3 TCs for DauT. So honestly, beyond his starting TC, it's becoming quite an issue on where he builds farms because there's these tiny little freaking wood lines everywhere, and I say that with some emotion because I've tried this before. It's tough. There's not a lot of open spaces for the farms, but I mean, he's got a lot of safe eco in there, which is decent. He's going to add some siege and defense. Still just not a big army for Barles. Maybe he's going to give up on crossbow, but he's got 8 of them, which is not the number you would have expected. Oh yeah, dude, he's looking at home. Oh, he's not looking at home. That was sick.
Nice split, dude. Milliseconds to respond to that.
Yeah, that was also an instance where it was very clear they're on 30 ping right now.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in the Yo versus Sebastian set. That's for sure.
Yeah, because that was instant. The DauT has enough to defend himself. He's got 2 relics and he's got a 15 villager lead. This is where the Poles can shine, and I think even though the Gurjaras have strong camels, you could actually, with enough monks in the mix, you could still go knights against this. At least right now. 2 TC style for Barles. Camels coming forward, crossbows coming forward, and a siege workshop going to go up near DauT's base here. But DauT's about to drop a castle.
Yep.
And that castle
Barles will
likely
see that
to go
quickly, though. Barles will see that quickly. So now the siege workshop investment, he's really got to start thinking about.
Yeah.
Whether he actually wants that or not.
Yeah, maybe that villager just becomes a house villager, honestly.
He'll house villager, like a house cat or something.
It's the same thing.
It's a rescue, yeah.
Dave?
That
DauT?
might be
DauT's in
denied?
trouble. He did lose a vill or 2. The mangonel was repaired. I think that's enough for DauT. The castle's close enough to going up. He just needs a better position. And DauT got some conversions on the camels. He lands a shot. The castle's at 80%. And Barles will have to back away. And yeah, like you said, the siege idea, not looking too hot right now that that castle's up.
Unless you want to go for some armored elephant push, but that's difficult.
Yeah.
The stage. He is adding a mangonel. I think he just wants to keep DauT contained now on this side. He's got the scout on the other side too, kind of tracking that relic over there and making sure DauT doesn't come out there and snag it. DauT should be pretty limited here in availability of relics. I think Barles will take the last 3, but still getting 2 in that early is really nice for him.
Hey, I mean, he's proved me wrong. He's found some great areas for the farms here. Sure, it's not perfect. You're missing a few here or there around the full work, but still getting crazy food income. Yeah. I like this from DauT to think, okay, this castle protects this area. I don't have to worry anymore, so I'll just go to the left side. I also like how Barles has had a TC number 4. It's far away, but it's on a gold, which we said would be important. There's the tech, Dave. You want to say it? Sriracha?
Slata privileges?
Isn't it slakta?
Slata? I don't know. Slata privileges sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm not going to say the second one.
It's kind of a travesty that DauT is playing polls against the only poll in the tournament now that I think about it.
DauT playing polls against the only poll.
Yeah.
And, yep, no other jokes to really be made there. Oh, I love how Barles is seeing the stables, though. That's huge. Seeing those 2 new stables when you know DauT already had 2 before tells you this is going to be knights, which obviously gives him reason to make camels. I mean, well, he has a castle now, right?
Could be Olbuk, yeah.
And also, like, Arbalest from polls isn't that uncommon these days.
Yeah, that is true.
So, you know, it's just there's a lot of instances where people in these types of games just don't send 1 unit to check. Maybe not so much at this level, but it really is so good for Barles to have that information.
Yeah. At this level, it feels like it always happens.
Yeah,
they're always trying at least to get there, and that's what makes them the best in the world. But why does DauT only have double bit axe again?
I'm guessing
40 on wood.
Yeah, he probably tried to go wood and farm upgrade, and probably ends up better for him that he ended up getting the farm one instead. But obviously,
you got to get the farm one first. But you still need both saw for sure.
So 2-2 on relics. Barles probably going to get relic number 3 here in a second. DauT, he only has 1 gold pile he's taking, but his castle is really close to a second one, so that should be a really important area for him. Barles
and
knows
he gets gold from stone too.
Yeah, that too.
So.
Yep. And he's found a couple stone tiles around. The 2 tiles of stone is consistent all around the map, so there's 10k stone remaining, and players will just have to expand. I love, again, how Barles is building outposts to get vision. It's going to be so nice. This is going to be a stable game, so you can get to the different areas of the map pretty quick with the mobility.
I like Barles' tech tree a lot better here as we get later.
Yeah.
I mean, DauT's going to have to find himself a timing window or something, and he is an imp faster.
Yeah.
He does have Cavalier on the way, but it's only 7 knights right now.
The thing that is also a little surprising is that DauT's just now getting +2 armor. If you had that before you make it to the Imperial Age, you could, and even Iron Casting, you could immediately go for Blast Furnace. And then Blast Furnace Cavalier might have a bit of a chance. Because Barles himself doesn't have many upgrades now. Both players opting for the numbers. And Barles going to lose 1 camel, going to lose another camel, and DauT builds a very good castle there on the left side.
Barles did get away with that relic, though.
Yeah, that's big. 2 monks as well. DauT might need to back away here, but the units are cheap, so maybe he just doesn't care. And yeah, this is how you play the polls. Just, I don't care. These are throwaway units. He runs into camels, and he loses his units, so he's going to back away. Oof. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there for DauT, but loses
Pressure
those
coming
units.
on the other side. But Barles still has army there. Never moved it away. It's not a great army, but it'll delay DauT a little bit.
Yeah, the Siege Workshop ends up giving Barles another minute here because DauT has to go through that. Look at the TC from Barles in the north. I really hope this makes a difference. He also has a stable there.
My God. Travamsha tech, eventually.
Yeah, Travamsha raids.
Kshatriya's on the way in now. Cheapest Hussar in the game.
Yep. It'll make anything that costs food have a pretty heavy discount. But, you know, it does feel like DauT's the one who... Well, I was just going to say DauT's the one who's really setting the pace here, but I'd be wrong. Because Barles just runs right into this farming eco, and DauT's going to have to set Cavalier to deal with Gurjara camels. Once heavy camels in, DauT needs something else, dude.
Dude, these camels in Castle Age are doing okay against the Cavalier with almost full upgrades from DauT. Like, imagine once they're heavy camel.
Yeah, I think... I don't know, though.
They're just going to eat.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. I think I can understand where DauT's thinking, because I'd be thinking I could beat Castle Age Camel, but that is just not happening here. It's going to get so much worse for DauT. But remember, he's not spending as many resources on this. He's collected 6,000 more resources. And it might actually turn out on paper to be reasonable trades based on resources spent.
The one in the north is surely not a reasonable trade, especially against Castle Age units. Like, Barles just ate through all of that, and here comes the heavy camel upgrade. As DauT sends in more Cavalier, they're a heavy camel now, taking out some of the villagers. There's more heavy camel here to deal with this force from DauT coming in. And I can see that, like, the cost effectiveness argument that you're mentioning, right? That's what you always try and make your way into as polls, where you're trading off with your Cavalier that are very cheap. But at some point, it's like running Hussar into helps. You're just going to get feasted upon. I love the tech switch from DauT now, going into Arbalest.
Yeah, and I guess what DauT has done with this flood is he's got a really nice position. Defensive castles there on both sides, protecting golds on both sides. On the right side, he'll go for ARP, and this is where I would feel a little unsure on what to do if you're Barles. I mean, Frontier Guards just make so much sense.
Oh, God, yeah.
For the camels, but you then need a unit in combination with your camels, and that's going to take a bit of time for him.
Can Poles do, if it goes long enough, can Poles do anything against Elephant Archer?
No, but this map is all about mobility, which makes me worry for Elephant Archer. Okay. Like, I think Elephant Archer is good if you have walls down and you can't be raided.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe an option. I mean, I'm trying to compare gold piles they've got control of right now. Barles has 2 remaining. DauT has 1, 2, 3 remaining.
And the stone piles.
And the stone piles, so... That should be really good for DauT, but he needs to make sure that he has a bigger group of Arbalests, because I think the camels... They're no longer even going to be mildly convenienced by the Cavalier. The Cavalier are just going to disappear.
They're going to be tickled by this Cavalier. DauT did find the TC in the north, though.
Can you go... What about Travamsha Camel? If you're Barles. Like, you don't even go for a range or anything. You just go full stable. I think that makes the most sense, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
The resources for Barles
feeding Travamsha into even big groups of Arbalest. It feels like unless you have a bunch of them, they die, and if there's any meat units in front, they die.
Yeah, well, here's the important moment in the game, Dave. There's no Travamsha. Elite Travamsha's on the way. We've got Frontier Guard camels. They've got crazy armor here. Like we said, the Cavalier do not have a chance, and DauT is going to get cleared up here. Amazing from Barles, and Barles is still raiding in the north, Dave. He's kept that TC alive.
And he can go for Travamsha from there.
Yeah.
That might be the angle he is looking for.
Yeah. He doesn't know.
And these camels just can't be dealt with, man. You need Arbalest over here. Look at this Cavalier trying to fight that camel.
It's brutal, Dave. DauT needs something there. DauT was hoping for a snowball on this side. The castle's going to be an important part of that. Castle should complete. But Barles now understands that this is where DauT's going to push. And he should get some siege together to focus his forces here. The castle's got some nice kills there for DauT. And that is a weak point for the camels. They have the melee armor, but they don't have any ranged armor. I do have to say, Barles, consistently floating res here. I think if he just keeps his eye on production a little bit more, he'll be at 200 pop. He should be producing a little bit more than what we're seeing right now.
On the way for DauT.
Oh, man. I mean, that's a good upgrade. There. That's a really good upgrade. Travamsha's come in for the Trebs here, though, Dave. And the Travamshas are going to kill one and fail to kill the second for now. Look at all the red dots in DauT's eco. DauT's lost 30 vills to these raids.
He is instantly replacing it with army, though.
Yeah.
So he's back up to 60 military. Another Treb goes down, so... Barles buys himself some more time, and it's really tough now with DauT with Obuk Arbalest to utilize the mobility.
Yeah.
There is none from his army. And if he separates the Obuk from the Arbalest, well, the Travamshans can come in. And at the moment, Barles is just content with throwing away like 20 units to get a trend.
He has to. He has to throw away army just so he can, try and take down the castle. Dude, Obuk produced so quickly. DauT didn't have any Obuk a couple seconds ago. Now he's up to 30. He's given up on the Cav idea.
Nice wall across the Trebs there from Barles.
Yeah.
Really, really good job there. Also, stable in the north, there were like 15 Travamsha queued up from that. DauT's going to go deal with that.
And he's making another stable there, too. That's really important. DauT's castle will fall. The Trebs for Barles likely to go down here, though. He might be able to save 1 or 2 of them.
Well, Shrivampshire are looping around. If the Obuk aren't near the Arbalest, maybe they could do some damage, but instead he goes for raiding.
Yeah.
If he gets in here, it's going to be ugly.
Treb survives for Barles. No, it doesn't. Yeah, Shrivam should just need to keep diving in, but there are castles everywhere for DauT. Barles needs range units right now.
Yeah, he's going for hand cannons. I'm not certain about that. I guess the theory behind Chakrams is, oh, that's a big castle from DauT. Forward. That's an aggressive castle.
I don't think DauT's composition can be stopped, man. Not by pure stable units. The Olbuk just shred all the armor. The Arbalest, they're completely fine then. DauT could lose 50 more, well, maybe not 50, maybe 20, 30 more vills. If DauT could just continue to push into the Barles' base with this. This army right here, DauT doesn't even need more. This army cannot be stopped.
Okay. You say that until the Obuk get pulled away and then all the Arbalists
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, Barles is throwing a Treb into that castle too.
Oh,
he's losing track of it.
Probably
he's kind of losing track of his waypoints.
DauT's going to drop another castle. He just buys it.
Oh my goodness.
He just buys it. This is insane. Like, this is what everyone's been saying about the polls, and obviously less so now, but dude, it's like other civs might have the tech tree, but they could just make so many units and save so many resources.
That was an excellent tech switch from DauT into Obuk Arbalest.
Yes,
It happened so quick.
Yeah, I think if he opened with Olbuk, he's just up against Chakrams, and life is very difficult for him right now. He waited till he had the castles.
Barles is trying to, extend his eco? He's just trying to run away from this?
DauT might not notice this raid next to his starting TC. It's a very awkward position to
And the
deal
castle's
with.
there, too.
Also in the north, DauT just lost a bunch of vills. DauT's got 90 army, dude, but he's losing vills everywhere. What is happening in this game? I mean, Barles is going to lose vills too. And Barles just can't take care of these castles right now.
Ooh, Barles might take care of that one castle. The first one that DauT placed. And he's got a Treb from the castle in the middle. And if DauT's not careful, he could lose both of these.
What is happening?
He's losing Dude, DauT is losing so many vills behind as well. Or he already has lost.
Yeah, he already has. But Barles, he's starting to lose castles. And his Trebs are getting sniped by DauT's bombard cannon. So DauT's two castles next to his eco still are going to stand here. Actually, DauT is not taking out the Treb yet.
Ooh, Lycav raid inside the main eco from DauT, the starting eco. The Obuk are there, though.
Dude, this is insane. This is chaos. But I just keep thinking about the core unit, and Olbuk just kill all here. Right? It's just mainly Lycav from Barles. He can't afford to make much more. It's too late for a tech switch into anything else.
They're losing bombard cannons.
DauT. Oh god, DauT just lost a lot of bombard cannons. Can DauT continue to produce Olbuk? He's got 55 of them. Losing his
resources are looking good. Like, he's floating a lot right now. It's just, eventually, if this keeps going, and he's unable to kill a lot of Barles' eco as he pushes forward, he's going to reach a point where he can't sustain the losses. And that castle might go down. DauT is out of stone. But Barles is trying to keep his castle alive now in the center.
Barles is about to lose a lot of villagers. And his farming eco is completely disrupted. Barles has 5 units in queue, including the villagers he has in queue. He's at 130 pop. And even though DauT's lost 112 vills, his army's just never been able... Barles has never found an answer to it.
Man. The flood, dude. The flood from DauT is winning. Barles at 120 pop versus 190.
Yeah, dude. I just keep looking at this Olbuk Arbalest army, which has killed 70 units. And it's just making progress. And that combo, you would need some type of ranged unit to deal with it, and it's too late to tech switch.
Oh no! The water buffalo! They're leaving!
The water buffalo are leaving. Barles still holding in the south, but he calls the GG, and DauT ties it up there, man. And I wonder if DauT, because like we saw the camels just destroying here. I wonder if DauT would consider that an acceptable loss now. the amount of Cavalier he lost. That it really felt to me like Barles just hard committed to the stable units because of how well it worked initially. And he forgot about the opportunity for Olbo.
Honestly, dude, I think you make a switch into something else instead of investing the resources into Frontier Guards.
Yeah, that would probably have to be
I
it.
don't think Frontier Guards gives you anything against these Cavalier. You're already cooking them. I think you take, and it's an expensive tech, right? Like you take those resources, maybe get chemistry a little bit earlier, maybe go into chakrams or elite chakram or something along those lines, and or maybe like Hussar a little bit earlier to raid or elite Shirvamshire or whatever, but something else, because I'm not sure that tech is giving you that much against the Cavalier.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing because normally you want to max out on your upgrades.
Yeah.
I also think the rate at which DauT produced the Olbook was just too fast for Barles to have a chance to deal with it. The unit does produce very quickly, and that's probably the biggest part of it. Because I think if he like kind of shows his hand early and Barles notices it, then Barles gets chemistry and maybe makes some hand cannons, maybe the elephant archers. But Barles he found out about the Arbalest Olbook switch very fast, and he just didn't have enough time. And it was right when he had just queued up a bunch of Shirvamshas. Like he made 98 Shirvamshas, more than any other unit this game, and that's probably the least effective unit, at least in the main fights here.
Also, like he threw 25, 30 Shirvamshas to kill 3 Trebs.
Yeah,
instead of fighting the army.
I guess maybe he felt like he couldn't win the fight and he had to buy time. Maybe that was it.
Maybe. He was buying time maybe for like chemistry to come in so he could get bomber cannons. I don't know.
So we saw ideal pull late game, except for maybe the Hussars, which they also have. We didn't see ideal Gurjara late game because you would want to have those chakrams. And I think it's just too tough to justify when your castles are spread out like this. What a series, man. 2-2. Both players came to play. Let's go.
Fortified clearing looks like it's next.
Makes sense for Barles. Here we are. Fortified clearing, Palisade Wall Edition. Map is open on the outside. Players could choose to wall that. But because the walls in the front are palisades and they can easily access each other through the middle, could easily see some feudal age aggression. And that might be what one of these players chooses to do if they're worried about unique units. So
that stone is horrible for Barles. It's a good thing he's the Spanish player and not the other way around. But the gold is kind of horrible for DauT. They've got the position flipped.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I saw Spanish, my gut reaction was that Barles would try and get to Conquistadors, as you often would assume on closed maps. DauT, he's not the best monk player, but Bengalis have good economy, and I could see him maybe just fast casting himself into monks, or the other extreme would maybe be Tower Rush here.
I mean, if you go Tower Rush with Bengalis, it's one of the good civs for it, because you get those 2 vills for free, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you still have a villager lead over your opponent.
Click shift over to the point of view of Barles, and then toggle Fog of War as this boar is leaving. Or coming to the TC. Okay, never mind. He actually erased the bug. It was like showing these weird rocks that I think are somehow used for old foundations, but it's gone now. Never mind. DauT. Elephant archers, is that the key here? Do you go like Ratha? Probably not.
No. Ratha will die so hard to conks if he gets into it. I think DauT just plays. I think he just plays Boom and some monks. I think it's fine, and then you can wall up on the sides, right? Your eco is going to be better, and then you can go into like I don't know, Skirm, Halb, Treb, Monk, something like that.
Yeah,
it's fine.
He's got 4 on wood, so that indicates a fast castle. We've got 3 on wood from Barles, which could still mean fast castle, but it looks to me like he's going to stop production here. And yeah, he's going to click Feudal. He has not clicked Loom, but fast Feudal here for Barles.
Nice.
What do you think about like scouts on this map? You make your stable at home, and then you can try and disrupt the sides. If not, you're at least harassing palisade walls on the front.
I don't know. I really don't. I think, like, unless you're a civ where you want to get up to feudal fast anyway for an eco bonus, like, let's say Bengalis, right? Maybe you could justify it. You get the 2 villagers earlier. So you're up earlier, you make some scouts, you apply a little bit of pressure, whatever. Maybe Hindustanis where you have more damage versus the buildings. Maybe Malay, something like that. But I think it's almost worth just to always play fast castle and then add in the scouts as you're going up to castle age rather than before. But Barles is coming forward with a tower here.
He also has 1 Vil walking back and forth to gold. And earlier in the day, we saw a tower rush on Arena. We talked about the Archer tower build. Spanish archers, though. I mean, they're fine in Feudal, but they're not so fine in Castle Age and beyond because you don't get crossbow. No loom for Barles, by the way. Still hasn't queued it. And DauT's going to see that Barles is in Feudal and be like, huh? There's the range.
It's the range of Winchester special right here against Palisade Wall. So it's going to be tough to fight this with non-loom Vils. I would love to see loom come in from DauT. He's going to get 2 additional villagers, and he'll go for a tower of his own to protect the gold.
No loom is so brutal here. You just can't miss that upgrade here, Barles. DauT already got 2 villagers
He's
for
fine,
free.
Dude.
Oh, man.
Still going to keep the villager alive. I mean, he weakens the scout. But I don't know if DauT's tower is within range to deny that. Might be. Oh, it is. Oh, boy.
Yikes.
Okay,
Yikes. That is so bad for Barles on so many levels. And this is his home map, right? Like, this is a map that he really felt he would have some success on.
DauT's like, you can't get me with that one, kid.
Oh, man. And DauT can still achieve a good fast castle with this. Because sometimes when you react to a play like this, your eco kind of tanks. He is actually going to stay feudal. And he's getting his upgrades now. But even if Barles completes this tower to fill it with archers, it's already going to be so weak. And this is the perfect start for DauT.
This Spanish gold bonus is really going to come into play here. Trying to get this tower up.
Oh, no.
As Barles loses another villager, it's an absolute disaster. And the tower has no HP. He's going to have to repair anyway once it goes up.
Yeah. This is just bad, dude. Maybe he saw the matchup and felt like he had to be the aggressor because the Bengalis' economy is so good. Nice shot from DauT to rebuild some of that palisade wall so Barles couldn't sneak through. But
frame perfect garrisons here from the arrows.
But you just can't do it forever. Your Vils are weak. So I think you just have to abandon.
Doing it soon. Yeah. He gets out of there.
Hear me out, because this is bad. Per my assessment, this is bad for Barles.
Okay.
You use your time, and you fully stonewall the middle of the map right now. Yay or nay?
Wow, dude. You called me out on some of my strats, and then you come up with something like that.
I'm just trying to make this interesting.
He's going to be so excited about this. I mean, the problem with that is that there are other ways around, and if you miss one tile, you've completely wasted all of that time and stone. And DauT's just going to deny casually, try and deny another tower.
Yeah, and like, Barles is going to want to run in with the archers. He's never going to be able to do that. Barles is helping me make my point here, because I feel like what Barles is currently doing could possibly be less effective than my wall idea. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, your wall idea, at least you don't lose 3 villagers.
Well, I'm not... To be clear, I'm not saying that's your initial strategy. I'm just saying because this has gone so poorly, maybe you've got to try it. I wouldn't mind. The safer play is probably just to like build stone walls behind your palisade walls in your base.
Yeah.
Instead of the entire middle of the map. But yeah, DauT is...
Resources collected, still similar.
Yeah,
because DauT has been building with these villas garrison for a very long time. As Barles goes back out to the stone, still has the archers, so DauT can expand.
I like how DauT kept that scout alive, because that scout can be really important. We'll probably make monks first thing in Castle Age. I feel like that's a level of detail we never saw back when we first started casting like 10 years ago. Like people would still just have that scout around.
They just lose the scout.
Yeah, then they make a barracks and then they just make another scout. And now we're like, oh my God, he has to make another barracks and stable for a scout. That's so bad, you know. It's pretty crazy the level of detail.
That was a good impression
now.
of yourself.
That's honestly pretty spot on for those that didn't watch me back then. So, and you'd get that level of content after a 40-minute countdown. So,
yep. 40-minute pre-stream countdown.
It wasn't even for an event.
To the games.
It was just for a normal random stream for whatever reason. Okay, well, tower's going to go down. Barles didn't continue to invest too massively into this after the losses. DauT still hasn't clicked up. Barles is really heavy on stone, and he knows that DauT's gold is there.
Dude, he's holding this middle area. Like,
yeah.
DauT's going to really struggle to deny this castle because the archers are still alive. It feels like DauT knows what's coming.
Yeah.
I think he might be surprised, given the losses that Barles took and the aggressiveness that Barles is already up. DauT's up way too late, bro.
Of all
He's
the
up
games,
way too late.
Of all the games for DauT to take his time with the market,
I know.
I'm really surprised it's this one where he's been on
Way
gold
too
for
late.
so long.
He wants to drop a counter castle to this.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be able to because he's so late.
I think
and now the scout is coming out. It's still alive, fine, but if Barles sends the Vills forward soon,
dude,
it's going to be pretty brutal.
And you have to build it forward, right? You have to deny that gold.
Have to.
Yeah, I agree. There's no, like, yeah, sure, conquistadors are strong if you make it from home. Make them from home, it's solid. But when you've lost villagers against a civ that gains free villagers,
gotta send him now, Barles.
You gotta go
gotta
for
send
it.
him now.
Yeah.
Like, Barles can't be late with this castle either.
He could send him now. He could send 7 that aren't weak and leave the weak one. Oh, God, the new thing where the villagers just path awkwardly. There he goes.
Okay, he'll buy 100 stone.
He's fine. Yeah.
And drop off from that dude.
This is...
And he's got the Vills forward, too. Yeah, that castle should go right in front of that gate.
Yep.
On that little pimple of a hill.
Yep.
And then DauT has to extend outwards for the gold.
Look
if
at DauT's
anything,
scouting. He does see that other gold there, but...
Okay, that's good for him. And now he's going to be as annoying as possible on this area with this scout.
He could try and block the castle foundation with the scout.
He's going to do it. And Barles builds it just on time. And now
oh, man, DauT, it's Spanish!
Like we said, though, he's too late. He's just too late. Like you said, of all the games to be late to the market, this is the worst one.
All right, here we go. DauT's going to build his own castle. His castle will go up. It will not be denied. DauT lost his scout. Barles going to go castle and then monastery. Nice recovery here from Barles. To achieve this castle age time and understand that he needed that next level pressure is really smart from him.
The problem for him is that DauT does have a better eco, and he can't range the Vills building the castle. The problem for DauT, obviously, is he can't take that gold at all. He's going to have to extend outwards. Also, the scout from Barles managed to sneak into DauT's base, which is so annoying
well,
when DauT wants to go grab those relics.
Well, DauT needs to sneak and get gold. Like, DauT wants fast imp. He would have to sell far too much stone and wood to get up. I think. I mean, it feels like it's achievable, right? The food's there. He's selling now, but I think DauT needs to lead a house. He needs to sneak out and then rebuild the house and be on that gold out there.
He can't even TC it, dude. There's nowhere to TC there.
Wow.
That's brutal. There's nowhere to TC there.
Barles making a mangonel, which is not something I was expecting. And he might want to delete this scout so DauT doesn't steal it. If he thinks DauT will get the conversion.
He's trying to deconversionize that monk.
Deconversionize.
I want to say de-aggro, but the monk is just shouting at him.
I like deconversionize.
DauT is on the way to imp!
DauT's up. He will need to sell more resources to get gold so he could make trebs. Barles is getting relics. Barles is making petards. Is he going to try and petard this castle down?
If DauT loses that castle, that's really bad for the Imperial Age prospects. But there are a bunch of walls in front of the castle.
The pathing's
going to be very annoying.
The petard pathing is going to be brutal. And if you shoot piece of a wall, you kind of let DauT know. You're not able to shoot the gate that's in front of your castle, though.
DauT is out on the gold. Archer
Wow.
looping around on that side from Barles.
Wow. I think DauT...
Barles is going to go for another castle.
Oh, man. I mean, if he could take care of this castle before DauT makes Trebs, it's over. Pretty much. DauT can't get another castle.
Is Barles going to work away on the palisades first, or is he going to go for the castle?
I think, do you take the gate so you can get the petards through? Petards are clunky, man. DauT using a petard against the ram. Okay. Pretty soon, Barles could be through into DauT's base, where DauT's going to have a couple monks. You need 8 petards to take out a full HP castle, but this castle has lost 800 HP, so you probably could get away with like 6 or 7. I don't have the math down. This feels so important, man. I think Barles is going to get that castle. There might be one Treb on the field, but Barles is being patient enough where he's going to probably get that castle. Unless the petards get stuck and path awkwardly, which they might do.
If Bengalis had access to bombard cannons, it wouldn't really be an issue for DauT. But if he loses this castle... He doesn't care. He's not scared at all. He should be.
Dude, that's so bad. Or is it good? That's so bad for Barles. He should have taken the gate.
Is it? He's got it. He's got a path now, straight into that castle.
I think they'll path to the right side, man. They path to the left of that tree for whatever reason.
Only not if you do them one at a time, I think.
Yeah, that might be true. It was 6 at a time. Maybe 2 at a time. It's fine. DauT's going to have a Treb. DauT's going to go for monks.
The monks are through.
Barles could get atonement and convert DauT's monks. DauT repairing away. There's not much that Barles could really do. He has atonement. We'll try and convert the monks. Does convert 1. That's worth it. Is bringing more Vils here, Barles. Is killing Vils here, Barles. Still has petards. Barles, this reminds me of sudden death.
He's looking for another castle, dude. If he sets up a castle on the other side of DauT's TC, that would be wild.
These petards are not going to path. I guarantee it. They're just not going to path.
Well, the
it's
villagers
horrible.
are pathing right into the shots.
It's
DauT is
horrible.
distracted by the castle at the back. He's trying to snipe the petards.
Oh.
It's happening.
I feel so bad. You can re-garrison petards, though. Like, he could have gone back into the castle.
Tristan, look at the castle at the back.
I'm looking at it. But
it's cooking.
I don't know what to think right now.
Atonement on the way for DauT. He's got 1 on food, 5 on wood, 20 on gold, and 0 on stone.
That's all you need. As long as that Treb is protected, that's all you need. You just need gold. But you can't actually make...
so hard for Barles here.
Barles would have won this game if those petards path differently. If he rammed the gate instead...
Yeah, but like you
over.
have to know that the petards are going to path that way.
Agreed.
Right? You can't take any chances with that.
Agreed. Castle for Barles sure makes this interesting, though. Because DauT is going to be trying to make monks still. And they might end up just dying, but I guess once Barles loses this castle, he's going to lose the next to the Trebs.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a monk out there.
That is the most important monk.
Ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Now, the second conch, if he backs away here, Barles... Okay, now this gets more interesting.
No. Yeah. You just play safe here. Barles has 19 on stone. He might be thinking about yet another castle. DauT has already taken out 2.
Barles is bringing his own monks over to convert DauT's monk there. He's still repairing with his Vils in DauT's base.
This is a crazy game.
Yep.
Like,
it's insane.
Just looking at this castle itself, without knowing anything that happened in the game thus far, you would be so confused.
Ram going in for the Trebs now for Barles. But there's a TC there, and there's Vils. The conchs are going down to the castle.
He's selecting the conchs with the ram. Did you see that? They slowed down and they got shot by the castle as they were trying to dodge.
I think Barles has recognized ever since the petards didn't work that this is unlikely, and he's tried his best.
Is it over though? I'm not certain, dude. I'm not certain it's over. Like, he can still kill all the Vils on the right side.
If he can get through right now, yeah, Dave, he's gonna bring a Vil to chop. He's gonna tree hop.
There's a hole there, dude.
Is there? Why is he not through then?
Because
I think there's no hole. Now he's going to palisade it? Does it not let him? Because it's part of the forest?
Is there not a hole here? What's blocking the
Double
way?
click the trees.
Oh,
There's a tree there.
There is a tree. Yeah, true.
Oh, and it doesn't let him hop over it because it's technically part of the forest.
Oh, the monks. Ah!
Does DauT have atonement? I don't even know. I think he does.
DauT does. Yeah, he does have atonement. He's had it for a while.
Then DauT's in a great spot. As long as he gets the conversions in, he'll take the Vills with him. The Kongs aren't an issue anymore. Barles is still in Castle Age, and the GG's called.
Oh my god.
Dude, I feel for Barles. I hope it doesn't affect his mindset, but in my opinion, this game is won if he takes out that gate.
Gotta ram it.
Yeah.
Gotta ram that gate. Or make a mangonel and shoot the gate from behind.
Yeah, yeah.
You just need to get rid of that gate.
And like we love to complain about pathing in this community. And sometimes we have lots of reasons to do so.
There.
But that there was an expected behavior, at least for you and I. Maybe we just make more petards than most. And yeah, I think what could have happened is DauT wouldn't have a castle. He would maybe just have one treb. Barles could then spend the rest of his resources on conks from his 2 castles. He would have his monks converting DauT's monks, and I think DauT would be an imp, but DauT would be in trouble. What a game, though, and what a hold from DauT. Give him all the credit to go fast imp and also tower defense originally at the start. Really impressive.
Yep. And he went into the atonement play with the monks.
Yeah, that was smart.
Which saved him so bad. Oh, my God. That was a panic play from DauT, and it worked out 100%.
Some people are saying you also could go 1-by-1 with the petard. So the issue I have with that is that the castle could easily kill them.
Snipes them.
Yeah, so
you gotta
the
make sure
idea
it's distracted.
of sending them all at once is you're expecting to lose 1 or 2 petards, but that loss is fine if the majority of them hit. I think of his 12 petards, maybe only like 5 hit that game because of the pathing around the walls. Dang. That's crazy. And now DauT has 2 chances to win this series, and Barles has to win both games here.
Bro, I haven't seen... And it's a 9-Ville start, Graupo.
Yeah.
We had, 3-Ville start for WWC. Welcome in. You start here with villagers and a transport ship. They're walking somewhere, the villagers from DauT.
DauT scrambles down the dock.
Walking in place.
Was this map created before you could take shorefish with villagers on docks?
Yes, maybe. No, yeah, maybe.
Because I can't see us hosting a tournament and then not putting shorefish if that was in the game. It's been since.
I think it was in the game.
It's been 2.5 years, and I thought that's been in the game for longer than 2.5 years, but I just don't know.
Interesting.
But
so. Unfortunate for DauT here that he couldn't get that TC right beside the shorefish, but it's close enough.
Dude, I'm laughing because I remember this. I remember like talking about the tiny details of this map and how you could go around and try and collect the ring of pigs. And I love how DauT's looking for them now. Look at that. That's really funny.
I have not seen this in any of the qualifiers. Maybe it happened, but overall, people were not picking this map.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it in the main event either, so I wonder what we're going to get here. Persians versus Hindustanis. I mean, Persians will be favored on the water engagement, and Persians, a little bit faster TC production, better dock production, and more resources to start. Hindustanis will pick up steam, though, once they get into the Castle Age.
Yeah, I'm thinking late game comps, because a lot of games we saw on this map went late game, and I'm feeling like Hindustanis with Imp Camel and 9-range hand cannons could be ridiculous here. So Persians, I think, now they could still go like Halb hand cannon because Hindustanis can't get Halb. Who knows? With the amount of resources on this map, maybe we see the occasional elephant. But I think Barles does not want this to be a game that goes very late. I think he can accept early Imperial Age. But beyond that, I think if DauT starts to tech into some, especially the 9-range hand cannons, I think that the Persians could have some problems.
What are we thinking? 2 7 games series in what are we doing there, DauT?
Barles! I think he stole a pig.
No, he's trying to. He didn't take one. He had 3 in his transport ship to
Okay.
begin with.
I guess it was still DauT.
He's definitely trying. DauT can just unload and leave, bro.
No,
Barles isn't going to find those.
He can't because Barles, if he leaves, then they turn red and Barles can steal them.
No, but DauT has a transport ship there too, dude.
I'm disappointed.
They don't turn red. They were literally blue.
I am really disappointed that didn't continue for a little bit longer, but I think Barles might have needed him, so he's going to send his home.
You understand the theory, right? Like, DauT also had a unit there.
I'm saying when you said DauT should leave, I thought you meant the transport should leave for some reason. And that's why I was saying that, bad things could happen.
Oh, DauT might find these. And he does. Barles should have kept the transport nearby.
See?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
All right,
dude.
And DauT is now going to, follow him? You should just hit that follow command for the transport on the other ship, just to stay, in his head. This is funny, bro.
I feel so bad for Barles. The last 30 minutes have just been so unfortunate for him. I mean, he's the one who gave DauT this idea. I don't think DauT would have done this.
Nope.
DauT's like, you try and steal my pigs? I tried to steal your pigs. Look at him clicking around. Yeah, he's sending a message here. He might not be saying anything. Oh, man.
He's in his head. Feudal Age is on the way. Barles unloads the 1 pig that's left to him. There's plenty of other food on this map. At the grand scheme of things, the pigs aren't really the biggest deal.
Yeah.
They just help with your transitions a little bit. There's other boars here, too.
Yeah, the big play here for Barles is going to be pressuring DauT's fish. And he's also brought the villager rather far forward for this, which tells me that he might use that villager for other things here, because he will know that DauT is this direction because of where DauT was taking the pigs.
DauT goes land.
Someone says, that is how war starts back in the day. Yeah, true. Somebody steals another man's pig.
True.
And then all their friends rise up.
There was a brief war between, they call it between the States and Canada on the West Coast because someone shot another person's pig, I'm pretty sure.
I believe it. I don't know about full-on wars, but I could see little scuffles,
Yeah, it was a territorial scuffle, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right, so what Barles didn't do is add a barracks, so he could go for this dock. He's also built a mining camp on the gold. So that's his wood investment right there, but the payoff is to kill DauT's fish. DauT doesn't have any clue that dock is up. He might have been checking with his transport, but DauT's expected to lose those fishing ships. DauT, though,
barracks
is going to go for scouts. And, I feel like DauT with information can do a lot of great things, so I'm really liking his position right now.
He's going to find it with the spearman.
Yeah.
He sees it. And he sees the barracks. Yep. Oh, man. DauT just got a lot of info, and here comes the scout to try and kill the villager. No loom coming in. There it is.
I have to say, the resources seem to be floating a lot for DauT's strategy. Wood seems to be hard to come by right now for Barles. And, oh, man, he knew what was happening. He knew the spear was around. But I don't think he expected the scout, and that's going to be a dead vill and an amazing start here for DauT.
Good job, DauT.
Yep.
DauT's transport ship under fire.
Yep.
Literally. And Barles will now start searching for those fish. This is one thing I remember from this map, is that the fish are very scarce.
Yeah.
There's not that many in the middle.
Yeah, and it's and for that reason, I don't really think it's something that DauT needs to worry about giving up, right? I think he could just let those fish die. I'm concerned now for Barles. If you want to go forward archery range, I get it. You go forward barracks, now it's extremely awkward to defend your base when scouts come to town. And you also cannot, you can't wall on the ice terrain. So some scenarios where you have to quick wall, you'll find you can't build the wall, and poor Barles getting hit. DauT finds the right area right away.
It just sucks that his barracks is forward now.
Yep.
So the spears are needing to come all the way home to defend.
He did, to his credit, was bringing spears home right away.
Mm-hmm.
And actually hasn't lost a villager here yet, so that's impressive. But
eventually, on this one, you do run out of the surefish, and then you have to make a transition. Barles still has some available. DauT is pretty free here, and he goes for the market. typical DauT fashion, also finds another boar. He should be able to go up.
Yeah, and you also save a lot of food with the Hindustanis. I say a lot. It's not a huge amount, but the villagers being cheaper does give you an edge. Man, you know what I just remembered? Do you remember the Celts Indians game that I had on this in the qualifier?
Yes. Yes.
You and Bullet casting it, I think.
I do. Wasn't that the one where you tried, like, at some point you had like 6 TCs or something like that?
Yeah, that was the one where I didn't realize that I had 177 vills.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I had the lead, but it was so nervous and stressed. Especially because I knew you and Bullet were casting it. It doesn't help.
Well, we were just there as emotional support, you know. We were
Yeah,
supporting
yeah.
every decision that you made. We weren't second guessing you at all.
No, not at all.
That
Dude,
doesn't sound like us at all.
I don't know if I've ever had that many villagers in a 1v1, and then I realized that I had 177 vills, and it was just immediate shift queue of like 40 villagers to save myself.
All right, Castle Age on the way now for Barles. He brings in another boar. He's trying to get the walls up, and it looks like he's done a good enough job there.
Yep.
Still needs to wall the right side. I wonder what DauT is going to go into here. Is it just a boom?
I think it is. I mean, if you think your late game is superior, if there's very little question on what your opponent's going to do, and I would say that's the case because I don't think DauT's expecting heavy archer commitment from Barles. It feels like really unnatural timing for that. Just boom. Just drop TCs. Just expand on this map. We might even see like a 5-6 TC game because, like you mentioned, there's just resources everywhere. So, but I think Lycav and playing this arena style is the best way from here for maybe both players. But maybe Barles could use the 2 archer, 2 spearmen to do something. I find it interesting. This map was the replacement for Compass. In Compass, a lot of the games ended very quickly, right? And this map, granted, this is the only game we've seen on it, but this map, I think, is a map that always goes to extreme late game.
Always goes late because there's no real fish in the center to take advantage of.
Yeah. Well, DauT's up. He's going to get Lycav, drops TC number 2, and drops TC number 3. Not on stone and gold, but on fish. Because that's a great source of food
greatest
income.
engagement for him. It's a lot of damage being taken by those fires, but he does clear up the spearmen, which means that the archers aren't much of a threat. But pikemen coming out now from Barles. So he's going to move those over towards DauT's base, and he goes for 2 additional TCs. The one in the north might be my favorite TC of all time. This is high up on the tier list.
He's trying to... He knows that gold will be important, so he's trying to chop the trees ahead of time so we could take that gold. Man, that's... A lot of the fish are gone, too. He does see the gold, so I guess maybe he will open that up. Pikeman denying a TC is not something I thought we'd see today. And Barles also realizes the villager is weak. Or I thought he did.
No. Yes, now he does.
Now he does.
Hunt him down.
Quick wall down.
Get the quick wall.
Okay.
He went to fish. He said, screw this, I'm fishing.
It would be interesting if this forward barracks actually becomes a factor now. Because, like, DauT wants to expand to more town centers at some point. And if he only has Lycav for map control, Barles patrolling around in this corner might mean that DauT prioritizes another direction. And maybe you could sneak a Vill forward if you're Barles, turn it into a siege push. You know where that TC is. Pike Siege could be a really good way to get a lead here. But we're booming, and it's been 7 hours, folks. 7 hours for Dave and I, not for these two, but a lot of people have been here with us the whole day, I think.
Good games, though.
Yep.
Good games today.
Great games. First series
Really
was insane. This series...
I mean, we might have 7 games again.
Yeah.
Like, you can't ask for more, right? Doesn't feel like 7 hours, which is a good sign.
I agree. I didn't realize until I wanted to make that statement. But in between, if we do get a game 7, maybe I shouldn't grab coffee. It's pretty late. But
What do you mean it's pretty... 5:45. I get
Well-
a coffee.
Well,
That's when I had it was at 8:30.
So I thought so yesterday, but I'm still kind of dealing with the Alaska jet lag.
Yeah.
So like the 4-hour jet lag, which isn't much, plus the coffee had me staying up way too late last night. So, but
Haven't you been back like 5 days?
yeah, I know it's weird. The first couple days it was fine, but then like last night, the last thing I wanted to do was sleep, and I just could not fall asleep for some reason. These 4 light cav getting some mileage here for DauT. Absolute mileage as Barles builds a TC on the right. It's going to be 4 TCs, resources collected ahead for Barles. Barles is
All
1
right.
relic, DauT is 1 relic.
Ultimate compositions. We are probably going to see what, like, you can't go Savar here with Persians because Imp Camel is going to
Correct.
nuke that a little bit.
Yep.
Is it like a Halb hand cannon kind of mix? But then Hindustanis
Yeah.
have the hand cannons. I guess if Persians control the water, then you have a better shot. But
I actually
This
think
sucks.
waters it could be really valuable here because of cannon galleons and galleons. Which again I think Hindustanis have the edge because they get bracer.
Cav
So,
archers for the Persians.
um,
Second range on the way. Just to maybe pick away, control the expansion.
you don't have a
bit.
lot of options. I think you go for like the super late game approach, and then go like trash bow and your own hand cannons with Hussar. That could be rough. Maybe you need Savar. Cav archer could work because they do get heavy
Elephants.
CA. They're not the best heavy CA ever, but still strong. The thing is, you don't have to answer any of these questions if you're DauT. It's just like Imp Camel and hand cannon. But you have to make sure that you choose the right one first, right? Because if you... Actually, that's the key, maybe. You go like Barles, you need to open strong with Halb, try and force DauT into the hand cannon timing, because hand cannons take longer to get to, because they're locked behind chemistry. He is making cav archers. I don't know if you were asking about cav archers or if that was just an
I was saying
observation.
he was making cav archers, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the best thing the cav archers are going to do here is just hold them in place.
Yeah.
They're not doing any damage. Now, DauT has 5 TCs.
Well, think again about how DauT approached the enclosed game and how in late, or I guess early Imp, he started progressing forward with castles. And what that did to Barles. It didn't give Barles time. So I think more than units, it's like creating some military late castle to take one of these corners away from DauT and dropping a castle there. Could be strong.
Barles might find this monk. Barles might find this monk. Barles might find this monk. He sees the villager, and he sees the monk, and that's another relic that he can potentially grab.
Oh, nice.
Relics are going to be really important here.
Yeah. DauT lost.
This
I
is
thought you
going
were looking at the
late,
other
dude.
monk. DauT just saved his monk in the south.
This is going late, bro.
Yeah,
what do
dude.
you think about just like, I don't know, going Navy first approach?
I think if
doesn't
you like,
feel great.
I think right now they need a lot of army on the field, and DauT's realizing that. Barles has kind of shown him that you can't just boom. The problem I see for Barles is pikes and cav archers move at different speeds. The forward barracks is kind of nice, but he only has one. I think that DauT could actually just clear this little force here, no
Dude.
problem.
One thing to bring up here, when we were doing WWC, the fish trap boom was not prevalent.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Now we have all of these little ponds
Yeah.
back here. If you fully fish one of those out, suddenly you've got some space.
All right, where's Samaro? Somebody call Samaro for me.
Oh, Samaro needs to be
Samaro
here. Yeah,
needs to be
Samaro-
here. We need Samaro. We need any of the BF guys to see if it's achievable here. I guess the problem is it takes so long to clear the water.
But I mean, farming space is going to be hard to come by if you lose the middle water, right?
Yeah, that
Or if you're being pressured on the sides. It takes up a lot of real estate.
number one thing that both players need to do here that they're probably not going to do, or at least for a very long time. Stone wall, dude. It's not hard. Just like walling from the edge towards the water is so good here to allow yourself to take fights. And if you gate it, you could still run into the wide open spaces of your opponent's base while being protected yourself.
This must feel... Oh, Barles is going water first.
Ooh.
He's making docks. So yeah, I was running through like it's so tough for Barles with this tech tree matchup for him. If we're going late game and they're gonna have very similar ecos, he's gonna need to try something different. And I think one of those things he's gonna try here, lock down a side with his land military and castles or walls or whatever, and then control the other side or try and pressure the front side of DauT's base with some cannon galleons.
And even
the problem
though
for that is that DauT has block printing monks.
Yeah.
So he can like get back on to this water area.
Well, that's tricky though. You start to convert a cannon galleon, it gets clicked back for half a second, and then you lose the monk to galleons if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, maybe.
So it makes life difficult for DauT, and DauT is not expecting this. And DauT is going to find, well, for the most part, I think he's going to find defense everywhere for Barles. But Barles doesn't have the walls down yet. He sees the camels are on the way.
He has vision. He could go for gates here to stop this. Gate.
Yeah. Gate. Actually, it's Hindustani camels. That's a problem. He's going to get gated. Gated.
Gate kept.
Yeah. Seems to be working. Oh, there's another gate. There's only 2 vills.
It's fine.
This is a gate issue. He doesn't realize. Oh, he realized!
He's gatekeeping.
Sick.
It's a gated community.
No.
Oh, and he went for stone walls behind Tristan.
But the gate, there's still a gate. Don't forget about the gate. No, bring more vills. The gate. Well, hey, it bought a lot of time, and it gave us some entertainment. So that's good.
Fast fire and stone walls on the right side. Man, this could be a transport elephants play.
I was not expecting those words to come out of your mouth right there. I was expecting literally anything else. I mean, listen, the stone walls is the proper move. We said that. Barles is using his Black Forest experience. The water play, I think the proper move. Now, how much population you can then use to defend yourself on land is an issue, but I think if he goes Halb on land for now and goes galleons and cannon galleons in the middle, DauT starts to lose buildings and DauT really starts to panic here. But what I'm not seeing is that Fast Fire tells me that maybe he thought DauT was going to make ships of his own. And Heavy Demo is like, well, he's hoping DauT's going to make mistakes, I guess, and get too close to the shoreline.
Well, you wall and give DauT like 2 tiles worth of a gap to walk through.
Yep.
And then you just hope that you can get some good hits. Right now, these camels are still a nuisance in the back.
Oh, man. Attacking...
Ballistics coming in.
Attacking the
mill.
mill.
Galleon coming in. He's controlling the water.
Bro.
The camels are coming in for that. The demo.
That was a fire? Is that...
I know. But the demo is just patrolling. Like,
yeah, true.
He could... Not anymore. It's too late.
Maybe, did DauT even see Heavy Demo yet? Does he know? Because the first time's always the best time. He's not seeing it. Well, DauT's going to go Heavy Camel. He's going to go Hand Cannons. He already got the unique tech for the extra range, so that's expected. DauT does not have any Navy, and Elite Cannon Galleons are sailing across the middle here, and DauT's going to start to lose buildings to this. Could try and use monks, but I think the best thing for DauT to do is just push on land quickly before the water becomes too much of an issue.
Okay, Barles, we're going to need... Barles is adding more ranges here. Barles, we're going to need... We're going to need heavy plow and crop rotation. And this one might go deep.
Actually, before that, I would highly suggest that you also get fortified wall.
You can't with Persians, dude.
What? I thought they got fortified wall.
They don't get fortified. They never got fortified wall.
Well, I mean, it's not like I go fortified wall with Persians all the time. I just thought they did.
It's iconic, bro.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what else is iconic? Pacific Islands. And I want to see that. Game number 7. I want to see Barles hold on here with these elite cannon galleons. It really bothers me, fortified wall or no fortified wall, that there's palisade walls and houses still protecting part of this eco, though. I think if you're going to wall, you have to wall everything you can.
Here comes DauT. Siege engineers on the way.
Has to keep the trebs far enough away from the shoreline.
This hand cannon's kind of getting nuked a little bit. Demo is coming in. That castle goes down, man. These elite cannon galleons will get damage.
But
and there's citadels as well from Barles. We're seeing everything here. We got full coverage. Parthian tactics. He's queuing up more cat. His solution to this is Persian CA, literally in late imp.
it's all he could try, except for, I don't know, war elephants. He needs halbs for the camels, but then the hand cannons are there for the halbs. It's really tough to know what to do on land, which is why Barles is trying water, which is, you know, actually working to some degree. But DauT could squeeze into the corners of the map if he needs to, and he could always pressure so much of Barles' eco.
Already took all of that gold up top there.
Yeah, that's true.
So the TC there worked out.
He needs heavy cav archer.
DauT is losing houses. I don't want to alarm anyone.
He is pop capped at 200, guys.
He's housed.
he's housed at 200 pop. Oh no.
A mega brain play here from Barles.
I love how
Galleon, I think, can range that trip. I think he can get that trip there.
that is that is a crazy army. Only on this map in this tournament. You're not gonna see any other map.
Barles can't repair. He doesn't have enough gold to buy stone. There it is.
He's so at the limit with res. Like, he does have a lot of stuff in Q Dave, but he is really struggling.
Well, the relics have been ejected from DauT's base. DauT is now housed at 180 pop.
True.
But he doesn't realize.
Yeah, and he's gonna be, every time he loses a unit, he's not gonna be able to get a new one.
You got to be really careful if you're DauT not to walk across this ice thing with all these docks here.
They're
The ships can't sail over that.
Yeah, and they're Persian docks too, so it's gonna take a long time for those to go down. So
DauT is housed at 170 pop.
okay, he's making castles, he's making houses. He must have realized. And DauT's got tons of resources right now.
Persian cav archers in the late game. How desperate must this situation be for Barles as he looks over his tech tree and he's like, there's nothing here.
Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't. Like, Hindustanis have one of the best late games. And Persians, unless they have the funding to go for elite war elephants, they have one of the worst. Well, maybe not one of the worst. One of the worst if there's unlimited gold. I think they're really good if gold runs out, which is just not the case here.
Well, until we get to a point where there's truly unlimited gold and you have an insane eco, and then they have one of the best in the elephants.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's true. It's like you
not
need
the situation here.
you actually just need food here. It always feels like the food is unrealistic
14 on
for a
food,
1v1.
by the way, for Barles.
Yeah, he's fixing
Straps
that.
would have helped.
He's fixing that. He's adding farms.
DauT is still housed.
And luckily, at a high population, he is noticing and still dropping more houses further and further into the corner. More upgrades for the cav archers come in. Can Halb cav archer hold for Barles? Because he's holding a lot of map control with his cannon galleons right now.
DauT could lose this army here if he's not careful.
Ooh,
A lot of bomber
big
cannons.
shots.
Good shots.
DauT distracted.
Big
DauT very
shots.
distracted here. Barles needs to make sure his units are fighting
running out
here.
of space, man. He's
Yeah.
running out of room.
The nice thing for him is there's gold and resources everywhere. So as long as he holds here, he could still be okay. There's no way DauT's going to come back on water, and all of a sudden, cav archers
the
aren't
cav
looking too
archers?
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still, now they're going to look bad because
Bomber
it's been a
cannon's
long
dead.
series, and the camels are there, and the hand cannons are there. He's holding, Dave. He's holding. Now, if he gets heavy cav archer, it gets even better, but he really doesn't have the food for that right now.
It's back to 33 on food. The hand cannons are dying. DauT's playing DM. I just looked at his res.
Sometimes we instinctively are like, I don't know about you, but for me, I'll instinctively start saying something because I think that suits the situation. Like, DauT is running out of resources, and then you probably looked. Yeah. Okay. Well, DauT, he's going to rely on primarily hand cannons right now for whatever reason. He's gone forward ranges, and he's got 30 hand cannons in queue.
These cannon galleons can still range a lot. They've done 32,000 damage.
Yeah.
As Armored Elephant comes out from DauT, but that's the Siege Elephant Siege Workshop, and that'll be denied.
And, like, do we talk about access to gold now as an issue for Barles long term because he has less map control? I mean,
I mean, DauT also has the Hindustani tech with 3 relics available.
Yeah.
So long term,
What
it's
about...
gonna be better.
I mean, if the roles were reversed and Barles had the resources that DauT does and the castles that DauT does, we'd be saying try Elite War Elephant.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying
100%.
maybe there's a chance that if Barles could just stabilize, that he might be able to justify it.
Well, he's going commander in.
Okay.
And he's taking out the docks that DauT is trying to add in the center. And let's see if he can get the snipes on the hand cannons. DauT's trying to utilize that range to take out the bombard cannons. It's so tough.
Oh, yikes.
Big shot, but he takes them out.
That's worth it for DauT. Honestly, Barles is going to run out of wood, dude. With only having 1 corner, he'll run out of wood and gold. But he did take out the castle from DauT and continues to deny the gold from DauT. Would you consider this gold...
60! I've never seen 61 hand cannons in a game.
We're about to see...
That's a crazy number.
About to see like 70. DauT doesn't want to make any camels anymore. He's just going to go hand cannons and elephants. And I can't blame him. Like, siege elephants are needed. Imagine making a demo here in this little pond in case DauT came to the back of your base. That would be the highlight of this tournament, no doubt. Yeah, you just can't kill these units. DauT's going to go Golems. That's actually a really nice choice, considering his opponent's going only archers right now. Forgot about them, actually. Yeah, I think it's correct for Barles to play on here. He is playing with a unit now that costs only wood. So with Persians, you could maybe think cost effectively. You could win this long term. But it is actually more difficult for DauT to bank up wood than gold now. Like, DauT's got no gold problems. So he's going to fight up against trash bows and feel fine.
Population is similar.
Look at the castle for Barles. He's just sticking to the shoreline here. And he's going to place a castle next to the stone.
Those cannon galleons have been the best thing you've done all game.
Yeah.
They've done so much damage to DauT compared to everything else.
And the trash bows are going to kill the hand cannons back here.
Eventually.
Eventually. There's another group.
Siege elephants are coming out now. Halbs are here. Barles shifts all of his eco over to this side. He's trying to gain access to more wood. Maybe trying for another castle at some point. Still dealing with the hand cannons at the back, and DauT is no longer in the eco because Barles is shifting his eco over to the other side.
Yeah, DauT's still in the north. Barles is going to snag as much golden stone here as possible. Oh, no, but... Okay, just lose this one trap there, Barles. Yeah, Barles, the mistake with this castle is he needed a way to immediately push DauT while doing this. I feel like this castle is just going to be sniped by DauT.
Castle in the middle of DauT's space, where it used to be anyway.
Oh, let's go. So risky for Barles. You could tell he's struggling so much against the hand cannons. There's so many moments where he's still patrolling crossbows over towards the initial group of hand cannons. They're just... Yes, they only cost wood, but they're still just crossbows.
They're called trash bows for elephant alert.
Let's go. All right. Here we go. No armor, but who cares? Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
This is looking rough for these vills right now. Cannon Galleon and Fire Galleys here to help somehow. DauT Siege Elephant is going to be attacked by the War Elephant from Barles. Siege Elephants do a lot of damage, but it goes down. Still hand cannons in the back of the eco for Barles, Dave, and I think we have our series here. Barles is at 120 pop.
I know this map wasn't in the qualifiers, so maybe they didn't get a good idea of like how to play it, but it feels like this is a map where you want to civ with a very powerful death ball.
Yes.
And Persians do have arguably the most powerful in the game if you can get into Elephant. But at a pro level, it's going to be so rare that you actually can.
Yep.
And other than that, like a camel civ will just completely nuke.
And the thing is, I do wonder how much experience Barles had here because, like Persians are a top tier nomad civ, but it feels, at least up against the Hindustanis, they're just not a top tier grapple civilization because their late game struggles. So
and the water doesn't matter as much, really.
Yeah, exactly. So it was nomad category, which is why Barles probably went for it. But DauT has played this perfectly. And Dave, as Barles is trying to survive and fighting here and queuing up trash bows, he's just thinking about those petards in the previous game. He's just like,
Is
oh,
he?
man. Yeah, 100%.
I think he was resigned to his situation and everything was a desperation move after the tower rush failed.
True, maybe. But if things would have gone differently, maybe we would have had your favorite Pacific Islands. DauT, though, the favorite in this series, was so consistent, won 3 straight, wins 4-2. And listen, I mean, there were some brills and there were some spills from DauT today, but really you could never, you never saw a player who wasn't prepped for the map. Every single time he had a strategy, he expected his opponent's strategy, or he had one that couldn't be stopped. He played super consistent and super well today.
Yeah. And it just shows here. Like, he went 5 TC before really doing. He made a few scouts in Light Kev. He knew the theme of the map, right? I'm gonna build up till late. You can't stop me. And then how are you supposed to do anything against hand cannons, let alone anything else I'm doing? Like, you go Savar, I go Imp Camel. You make anything else, I make hand cannons. You're toast.
Yeah, it was really well played. And I seem to recall, I'm sure DauT prepared and looked at the map and whatnot, but he did play very well in Wandering Warriors Cup, I recall as well.
Well, he got to the finals, bro.
Yeah, and when I talked to DauT, I forget which map it was, but it was one recently where I went to a stream. I said, hey, you played like really good on that map, which we rarely see. And he said, oh, yes, I remember it from this tournament like 4 years ago. It just sticks with him. And clearly that was the case with Grapple here. So well played to him. I believe bracket-wise, that means DauT may move on to face Viper.
Yep.
Which is always fun. So I'm looking forward to that series in the quarterfinals when that happens. I think also very well played to Barles here today. A couple things go differently. We get a 7th game, and maybe he wins the series. He should be proud of how he performed.
Do we think it's possible here to go into the elephant mass? Or does it just force DauT into monks and then it's just like...
I think you can go elephant mass if you don't have anything else before it. And I think you almost need something before it to like chill and stabilize your situation.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. If you show only elephants right away, then DauT could just drop like a couple monasteries, and probably hold from it.
Dude,
so
the funny thing about elephants, and I only know this from the Lord of the Rings scenarios, but if you load 20 elephants into a transport ship and land it, like, let's say he's got a big ball of cavalry or something, you land it behind, the elephants, the way they unload from the ship is in like a line. So you can pull this super flank. Like, they take up like 15 tiles.
You gotta do it and clip it and show me. I've never heard of that.
You can pull this super flank with these ice things. Like, you could just set up right around their army if you land it correctly.
So they hop out of the transport in a line?
Well, because the way it works with transports is like, they can't bump up against each other, so not going to stack, and elephants are fat. So imagine 20 fat elephants just like unloading, right? They're going to spread out.
I think I know what you're talking about. You'll have to do it and show me.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, good back-to-back cast. I had fun. Yep. And hope viewers enjoyed. Seems like people did. Quarterfinals tomorrow. Warlords ends. Well, Warlords doesn't stop until it ends, guys, which is on Sunday. So should be fantastic. I don't know if the schedule's been announced yet. I think it's still TBD on who plays tomorrow, but we'll find out. And I'll hit you up about casting, of course.